try to start stream like 15 minutes before my stream scheduled because I know something's gonna go wrong every single time.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's only lately it's been doing it to me, and it doesn't give me a reason why.
Hey, it's like my laptop giving me issues as well. It's like it knows it's being replaced.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think my PC, my PC's getting replaced as well. Anyways, we're live. There we go.
Throw
Okay,
that shit out the window.
We're live, guys. So, hey guys, welcome to another wonderful week of the ZombSquad Podcast. I am your host, Zimad Lobster, and as always, it is a pleasure to see every single one of you here today. I'm joined once again by my wonderful co-hosts with the mosts, Kyle and Spike. How are you both doing today?
I'm good.
I'm great.
You're great. Good. I like that. I've drunk too much coffee and I'm already feeling it. Yay! But we are here, first five-man podcast since the revival. Because we are joined not by one guest, but two guests on this episode. The first one being the person who was actually the first guest when we revived the show. Zoe's back. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And we can finally have a podcast where my mic doesn't cut out all the time. Yay!
Yeah, feels good, man.
Feels good. They can actually hear a conversation rather than going, what? But we are also joined by the man who carried Team Ravenlords through Zombies for charity. It's JBradyGames. How are you doing, my dude?
I'm doing well, man. How are you? I think carry's a bit of an overstatement, but I'm here. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, dude, it's great. Honestly, it's great having you on. All these different people that we're getting on. It's just absolutely wonderful, and I've loved nothing more than just speaking to all people I've never had a chance to properly talk to, even if it's about zombies or about anything. Getting them on the podcast and having just a deep conversation is what I love the most about this show. And we're on the verge of doing more 5-man episodes now because we are so booked up. It is ridiculous. Just all these different people. And I've got more coming to me saying, hey, can I be on the show? Can I be on the show? I'm like, okay, all right. I need to check the schedule. Can you give me 2 seconds, please? Let me breathe. Please, sire. Please, sire. Thank you very much.
Y'all need to chill the fuck out.
Y'all need to chill the fuck out. I know you want to be on.
Spike will be the hard-nosed.
Yeah, he'll be the bad cop in that scenario.
I'm Jack's angry translator.
Right.
I'll be there having a nice, peaceful, casual conversation. So Spike will just be like, "The fuck you mean, bro?"
So loud.
So loud. But we are here talking about all things Zombies for Charity, an event that 3 of us took part in Saturday just gone, and what an event it was. We raised as a community was it 6.1k, was it?
I think it was like 6.2 actually.
Oh, okay. So that extra 100 more. 6.2k. The St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which is remarkable that they completely and utterly smashed their goal from the previous year, because they made, what was it, 720 or something like that? It was a really It was a really small amount. And you look at the difference between that one and the one they've got now, 6.2k, that's a huge difference.
I mean, the goal for this year was to raise 1k.
Raise 1k, and they've raised
six. Just smashed out of the park.
$6,000. Like, that's insane.
But I think it's also proof that even the smaller content creators can get together and do something like that, and we can still raise. Like, I mean, we're no E for C. We can't raise $200,000 for the charity, but raising 6.2k is enough. Like, not enough in the sense, but like it's remarkable that we can raise that amount, and we haven't got to compare to all these big time YouTubers that are donating 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,000 everywhere, lifting thousands out of their pockets and throwing it off like confetti. Like, you know, here you have 1,000, and here you have 1,000. I mean, that'd be nice.
You get 1,000.
Yeah, give me some 1,000, please. Thank you very much. I'm a poor man. But it was a remarkable event, and we are going to dive deep into all sorts of stuff to do with this event, like the challenges, the teams, and I have many comments I would like to make, but I'm going to save those. I'm going to save those for after. But we're actually going to start with how we start every episode. Guest questions. Now, Zoe, you are lucky because you've already had these questions, so we're not going to answer you again. You're fine.
Oh,
you're fine. You
thank
can chill back.
I'm not being put on the spot.
But now James is going to be on the
I know
spot,
what that
my
means.
dude. But honestly, these are questions that we ask every single guest. And actually, Zoe, they've changed a little bit since you were last done. They've changed a little
Please
bit.
don't put me in the spotlight.
I'll think about it. But I'm not the one going to be asking them. My man Kyle is the guy who asks all the questions. So I'm going to let him take away when he gets them up.
Right. Let's see.
I'm
I'm
tweet out the stream.
through the DMs. How far do we go back here?
How far do we go back?
It's like we're going. Oh, here we go. Okay, so first question. Most memorable zombie moment.
Oh, okay. For me, I think it's gonna be, I don't know. It's kind of unrelated to my channel, but it's definitely like where I got to start in zombies. So my brother and I, we'd played like Black Ops 2 quite a bit. Like we were big, oh yeah, no, just hop on transit, do whatever. Like back before I could register that transit was absolutely terrible because it was the only map I had ever played. But no, so I started to like get a little bit more into like watching videos about zombies. So I found Origins, like, oh, this map looks sick. Like, let's buy it, do that. And over the course of probably, I'd say like 6+ months, we worked our way up, my brother and I, to like finally beating the Origins Easter egg on BO2. And like the day we finally beat it was probably just one of like the happiest memories I have of zombies. Like it was this culmination of weeks and weeks and weeks where we'd learn to build all the staffs, learn to upgrade all the staffs, learn how to do G strikes, learn how to get the Thunder Fists. And then we had a couple weeks like where we had died in the last step where you just need 100 kills, which I now realize is so easy.
Yeah.
But we had died doing that. Like to finally see that cutscene play was just an unreal experience.
I love that. Like learning an Easter egg and building your way up to finally completing it is one of the best feelings when you actually do complete it. Like, no matter what Easter egg it is, whether it's something as mind-numbingly tedious as Transit or Diarize or something that's actually fun and enjoyable, like Horizon Drac or even Gorod Crovey, I'd say, for that matter. Like, it's wonderful that you actually can build up to that, and completing it for the first time is a feeling like no other, no matter what the egg is. So I respect that, really do. Like, especially a map like Origins, where it requires a lot of work. Even for solo players. Even more, actually. Even more.
It's a lot. It's crazy to me now, too, that, like, I think about playing Origins, and the only thing I have to look up is, like, the wind staff symbols. Whereas I had screenshots and videos, and, like, we'd pause and watch, 5 minutes of Mr. Dalek JD's guide to doing the Easter egg, like, how to do one of the staffs. Like, the fact that I can now just do that from memory is just insane to me. But I also love that, like, that progression of zombies where you start with like knowing nothing, and now here we are where most of us, like, I could do most Easter eggs off the top of my head. I can, upgrade this, upgrade that, know how to do this. And that's one of my favorite things about zombies, honestly, is like that progression.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I like knowing the eggs off by heart is like you were saying that the only thing you need to memorize is the wind staff combination. Yeah. That's the ice staff symbols for me. Those are the only things that I need to know. Like, I know the wind off by heart. I know the fire off by heart. I just need to memorize ice. But once I get through that, especially on the remaster, like, not a lot of people know the shortcut where you can hit every single tombstone just from the mound. I'd done that in the stream the other day, and one of the guys is just like, okay, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, well, yeah, now you do.
Wait, you can't? You can do that? Hold on a minute. I never knew this. This is information. This is new information to me.
Yes, definitely me
Jay's
too.
gonna have to show you.
It's a bit tricky. I'm talking the one by Gen 2, but you can do it. It is possible, only on the remaster though. You can't do it on the original because of the poor graphics. But on the remaster, you can easily, once you know where to aim, few shots, and then just pop your pistol, and then you hear the completion sound. It's just so nice not having to stay here, then run over to there, shoot that, run all the way down to there, shoot that, run all the way back, and then into the mound. Like, it's just nice not having to go through all that. So, but I'll anyone who wants to know it, I'll show them how to do it. Take a little bit of while, but I'll show you. Okay, Carl, what's our next question?
So how has zombies impacted you, and what keeps you? Well, really, what keeps you bringing you back to zombies, and how's it impacted you?
I definitely got to say, like, content has a huge part of it for me. Like, I don't think if I didn't stream or didn't make videos, like, I would play zombies as much as I do. I get like I'm so fortunate, and I think I don't know if I'm speaking for all of you guys too, but I assume it's somewhat similar. Where like when I stream, I get to like play zombies, but have an incredible conversation with the people in my chat. Like it's like there's people there with you experiencing the same thing. It's the same fun of like going to a friend's house and playing zombies with another person. It's not like you're playing solo. It doesn't feel like that because there's those other people to interact with, and just the incredible like conversations and getting to know people through a video game. Like that's incredible to me. So I would say that's one of the biggest things. And also just the fact that so much of zombies isn't at like face value. Like the fact that you could play zombies, and that's just like when I started off, I could have never told you that there's an Easter egg on a single map. And the fact that there's this whole beautifully woven storyline beneath really great gameplay, like where it holds up. And I have friends who play zombies just because like it's a fun game mode. And then I have friends who like we can talk lore, we can talk storyline, we can talk Easter egg steps. Like the fact that it's these like almost two different planes is crazy to me. And one of my favorite things were like there's great gameplay, but there's so much more than just that going on.
Yep. I actually like, dude, that's the Shadows of Evil run that I did, the round 105 run. I started off just talking to chat, then Spike joined me in a party, and then when I got to the end of that run, it really made me just appreciate how much I actually enjoy streaming. Like, especially a game like Zombies, even if you are going for a high round. And I'm actually probably going to get another one of those this Saturday when I'm doing Origins round 100. But I completely agree. Like, having the chat there, just people to talk to. Like, even if you have like, I don't know, 5 consistent viewers, if they are constantly in chat, then it doesn't even matter, because you are speaking to people, you're engaging a community that love watching you play these games, and that's just a wonderful experience. Love it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Number 3, Kyle. What's number 3?
3. Let's see. Oh, this will be a good one. Favorite map.
Origins, definitely Origins. I think
I'm out.
Part of it for me is like
I agree. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
Hey, did you just walk up again?
Okay. Let me explain myself a bit, and then I do want to hear from you guys, like, because I know I have some opinions about maps where like I'm a big advocate of Garad Crow V2. Like I'm not gonna say it's my favorite map because it's not, but I know a lot of people in my chat always talk about how much they hate Garad. So I'm open to hearing your gripes about Origins. But for me, it's like largely the experience. You know, I talk about one of the biggest thing getting me into zombies was like those runs playing Origins with my brother that I referenced earlier. Like that was a huge part of it for me. And I think that there's just so much to do. Like you can play that map hundreds of times and you can play it a different way every single time. You know, you can go for the Easter egg. You can just go for one staff and like see how good, you know, how far can I make it just using the ice staff or the upgraded ice staff? How far can I make it with wind, lightning, fire? Do I want to make the G strikes? Like all this different stuff going on is really awesome to me. I think there's just so many different ways you can play it, which I really enjoy.
No, yeah, it's like I only did that for a joke, but like I've always appreciated what Origins has brought to the table, and I'll always say that. Me personally, I have gripes with the map, but that's just me. But I do understand why people love it. I do get that. But it was actually interesting that you picked Origins. But what you were saying about going back with your, like playing with your brother and all those memories that you made, that's understandable. That's completely understandable. I can see that. But yeah. You say people have a gripe against Golrod?
A lot of my chat does. I'm gonna kind of call them out here, but I don't know. Every time I do the Garage Easter egg or play Garage, they're like, you know, this map's not that good, right? And I was like, I really enjoy it. I think it's great. I enjoy playing it.
People that does not like Rod.
Okay. Wow, like I'm here to hear you out, but I'm gonna stick to my guns. Like I enjoy it, and I think part of it for me is like I think of what was going on when Garage came out in the community, and I think like that was the peak of at least Black Ops 3 for me. And like some of my favorite times on YouTube, like Z House was going on, everyone's streaming, like there's just so much excitement going on. So for me,
Yeah.
like the whole memory of Garage probably makes it a lot better than like the gameplay or the actual map itself makes it. But that's my
Yeah,
take on Garage.
Yeah, I can agree with like how probably just like with everything that was going on at the time when Goron came out, that probably really helped like its popularity.
Yeah.
Like on its own, it stands as a really, really great map, just on its own. But then with everything that was going on with like Z House, that really bumped it up to a whole new level.
Is this man okay?
What?
No, Jax.
Sorry, I was
You
trying to get
good?
something. My bad. I'm good. But it's like, well, actually, I'll tell you what. We're not going to talk about it now. After we dive deep into Zombies for Charity, after we've gone through all that conversation, I'm looking at you, Missy. I'm coming at you as to why you don't like Gorod. So get ready for the spotlight to be back on you. That's for sure. Just prepare.
Like
Just prepare. Okay, Carl. What's our next question?
Okay, let's see here. Oh, where does your gamer tag come from?
Okay, so my gamer tag, for those people watching that don't know, on Xbox, which was I play primarily on, is Crazed P995. So if I guess you guys want to go spam me with friend requests or whatever, go for it. But so for me, this is a long one. So it comes somewhat from my old name on Minecraft, and then just from like my brothers. So Crazed P is short for Crazed Penguin, because when I was growing up, that was my name on Minecraft. I just thought it was a cool name, and I like penguins, so that kind of fit together. And then 995 was when my stepbrother, and we originally had one Xbox account that we all shared, that we finally got gold on to like play online with people back in Halo 3, I think it was. In the last digits of it were 995. So it was like kind of an homage to that, like that was my first time ever playing Xbox online. So that was kind of just an homage to that. I should really change it because it means nothing really anymore. Like it has some cool history to it for me, but it's really confusing. Like, oh dude, like JBradyGames, I'll just look you up on Xbox. Like, not my gamer tag.
Nah,
so
mate, you won't find me. You won't find me. I'm lost
I
in the
changed
ether.
almost like my PSN is like JBradyGames _YT. My Steam name is JBradyGames. Like I've adjusted those accounts, but I don't know. I kind of just keep it as like an artifact of my past. I kind of like it.
No, I completely respect that.
cool.
And quite frankly, because I actually, when you were streaming one day, I messaged you, and your gamer tag has that little inkling of it being really like sticking in someone's head if you've played with them. And
yeah,
when I saw what your Xbox gamer tag was when you sent me it, I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that. Then I went back and watched Reed's Open Lobby, and I'm like, holy shit, I got into an open lobby with this guy? Are you kidding me?
like years ago. Yeah, I remember that because
World.
when we started chatting again more recently, I was like Mad Lobster. Like I know that we have talked like before this, and it was crazy that it went back that far.
I mean, the thing is though, it's weird that you are now another person that I put on the list of people I've met through Reed. Like I list so many people that I've met through Reed, and now you're another one. It's like how much has this man actually affected? Like, but to be honest, quite frankly, I'm never going to argue because everyone I've met through Reed has been nothing short of amazing. Like I could not argue with it. Like I got a best friend out of him. He's right there in the middle with a ZWC shirt. Like I'm not.
Oh wait, ZWC represent?
Yeah, I was wearing this because I felt it. Theme. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not, but
it's cool. I like it.
But yeah.
But I love that. That's really cool. And you know what? Keep the gamer tag. I like it. Keep it. It's cool. Like, and the fact that it brings you back to like past memories, love it. You gotta love those memories. That's for sure. Right, Carla, we got, is it like one or two more? And then
I have one more.
One
Favorite
more.
childhood game?
Favorite childhood game. Okay. I'll go for I thought I'll just go for two here. So my first ever video game of any sort I played was Pokemon Ruby on Game Boy Advance. So
okay.
huge shouts out to Pokemon. Like that was my childhood. Like that will forever be and hold just such a special place in my heart. And then probably Halo 3. Just I played
Nice.
that and Reach. I played so much Halo, and like those were the games where I was like, okay, like this is so fun. I just love doing something different and those two games for me, like the story was great, the online was great. So for me, I mean, those two just really stick out as like those were what I grew up playing, and those definitely both have a really special place for me.
Dude, Forge on Halo Reach was one of the most fun things I've ever done. I absolutely the amount
the days on Forge, bro.
Because like back when I was in SIG form, I used to play with a couple of my friends a lot on. They would make all these different custom maps on using Forge, and we'd have like such. And I'm actually I'm in the process of making a race map on there, but I don't think it gets enough credit that it deserves. Like quite frankly, I see Forge as one of the best things about Halo, and especially Forge World on Halo Reach. Like it's just so open to do whatever you want to build and whatever you want to do. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I remember. I've like now that you bring up Forge, that's something I haven't thought about in like years. But I remember like making little maps where it'd be like, say I was split screen with my brother. Like it'd be I go build my base for 10 minutes, you go build yours for 10 minutes, and then like we just fight. Like first person to 30 kills wins. Like race maps were super fun. And this is a very like cross game comparison, but you look at how much people talk about like Fortnite creative now, and Halo did that 10 years ago, and it's crazy.
They did, and they did
see
it
like
good.
what a great mode that was. And I think, like you said, it's really underrated, and I completely agree with that.
I do think it is underrated. Did you ever play Hot Pursuit?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, right. So, Hot Pursuit is one of the most fun things on Forge. Like, it's honestly, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like racing, but you're actually getting much more enjoyment out of it. Like because I used to play with my cousin a lot, and whenever he would come on, he'd be like, "Oh hey, do you fancy some Hot Pursuit?" I'm like, "Yeah, definitely." So it'd be me, my cousin, and then 3 of my other mates. And the thing with Hot Pursuit is there'd be no barriers. And so my cousin would constantly fall off the map every single corner he took. Like I'd turn around and be like, "Wait, where's Jordan?" "Oh, he's off the map again." And so I went out of my way to make a Hot Pursuit map and actually put a few barriers on. And guess what? He still managed to fall off the map. Right. But
God, I love it, man.
If you get a chance, check out Hot Pursuit. It's wonderful. It's so much fun. Like I actually might stream it one day, but we'll see. We'll see.
Pretty cool.
Well, that was awesome. Okay, now to dive into the juiciness of Zombies for Charity 2 2020. So I'm gonna go around, right, and I'm gonna get overall experiences from each of you. We're actually gonna start with you, Zoe, because I'll tell you why. It's because I want to know. I want to know your whole experience of the team you were playing with, what you thought of the challenges, and all sorts. So, go for it. Save you.
Okay, so I got asked to be a part of this way back last year. I think it was like November time or something. Like Zazu followed me, and then he was like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this Zombies for Charity that we're doing next year?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? I'll be a part of it. I'm playing zombies right now." And then little did I know that a few months later I would be a little bit burnt out on zombies. But yeah. So when I joined, it was originally just gonna be Black Ops 4.
Okay.
And I was under the impression until I think it was March time that it was just gonna be Black Ops 4 maps. So I was like, "Oh, okay, this will be fun because you can play Ancient Evil." I just wanted to play Ancient Evil. I love Ancient Evil. But yeah, I think it was March time they all changed, and then they were going to be included in Black Ops 3, and I was like, All right, nice. I can get behind this. I like Black Ops 3. Everybody likes watching Black Ops 3. Sometimes it's a little bit stale with Black Ops 4, but yeah, everybody likes watching Black Ops 3, so it's nice to have a merge of like Black Ops 3 maps, Black Ops 4 maps.
Yep.
Like we got told all of that, and I was like, okay, nice. And I think so. Like in the group chat on Twitter, I will admit I did mute it.
You
'Cause
did mute it.
they tend to go off on like little random conversations, and then a lot of it was just like recycled memes, and I was like,
Oh god.
I've got to mute this. It's like getting a notification every time. I was like, yep, mute that. Yeah, like I missed when they said that they were gonna like, because I was under the impression it was just gonna be Easter eggs at first as well.
That's what I thought
So
as
when-
well. Like this was way before I way before like I knew the players were going to be in it. But I honestly thought it was going to be Easter eggs as well, just Easter eggs.
Yeah, I was under the impression it was going to be just Easter eggs, but then I guess they had like a stream. Like not everybody knew about the stream that was happening. So then like I wandered into the chat one day, and it was just like, oh yeah, we're going to be doing like all of these other little challenges, and I was like, nice. I don't remember how to do like hardly any Easter eggs. Like Mob is my favorite map. I remember like majority of it, but I don't remember some little steps. But yeah, so it was nice to just like break up the Easter eggs with
Yeah.
little challenges. But like I will admit that some of the things didn't get told to other people. It's like some things that were happening. If you get me. So like when
What do you mean?
so like when they said that they were going to be doing more challenges than just Easter eggs, like not everybody found that out until
Oh.
we like found it out by ourselves, if that makes sense.
Oh damn. Okay, that
Yeah.
definitely spiced things up.
And then like there were other parts on the like throughout the event as well. Like I don't know if this took place, but was there a trivia round?
No,
Like,
there wasn't, was
during-
there?
Because
There was in between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 that was on. I
Yeah.
think it was
There was?
on Zazu and Greg's.
Yeah, because so we got told that there was going to be, well, some people got told that there was going to be a trivia round, and then like Newbie like said to us, "Oh yeah, who's free for a recording of a trivia round on Sunday, like last Sunday?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "There's a trivia round? Like what?" And then so I went into the group chat, and like some of the people had been speaking about this trivia round going on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Newbie just told me," and I had no idea it was going to happen. And then somebody chimed in and was like, "Zoe, you have no excuse to say that you had no idea this was going to happen." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" I had no excuse because like nobody got told except from what I heard is the captains. And then obviously, if your captain hadn't told you, you were just like left in the dark a little bit, and it was like, "Oh, okay, just." But yeah, so basically, the experience is that the majority of it was good, but some of it was a little bit like, I don't want to say sketchy because it's not sketchy, but I can't think of a better word.
Poor communication.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
That exactly. But like the majority of it was good.
I want to know whose idea it was to do realistic target towing. Whoever
Yeah, if we get to
it
the bottom
was,
of it, let me know. 'Cause
I'm gonna
coming
find you.
for 'em.
I'm
I'm
gonna
coming
ask
for
you
'em.
why.
Honestly, did not mind that challenge.
It was
Mhm.
alright,
But-
like, except for the
Newbie
fact
heel
that
bashed, and then we blue screened,
wow,
Oh wow.
GG newbie.
and we got
Yeah.
to like round 10, got like 700 kills, and we probably could have kept on going, but he blue screened, and it was like nice.
That's a big yikes.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the Targ one, I actually quite enjoyed it. Apart from the fact that I spent over 100,000 points on freaking Victoria's Tortoise alone, because I kept on, like literally, I don't even like. This still blows my mind, right? Because there is one instance where I downed that I don't even know how I downed. I literally was up shooting zombies. Next thing I knew, I was on the floor. I was just like, excuse me, what? What just happened?
Yeah, I remember
Just
that
happened?
moment, Jack, because you were like at the base where that pack-a-punch would be, and then they jump from like the little catwalk right there that you blow up with the dynamite, and literally like your back was turned with your shield and Victoria's Swords. It jumped over, hit you, but hit you like almost like what would seem like your shoulder. It's like, well, how? You got a shield on your back.
It wasn't even that, Kyle. It was the fact of like I literally no that I don't even think that barricade was blown up, so they couldn't come from there anyway. And I had a teammate next to me, and so he was watching the side, but it's almost like I was taken out by Speedy Gonzalez because he came in out of nowhere, hit me, and then literally ran away at like the blink of an eye. And I'm just like, excuse me, what just killed me? Like, I was so confused.
I had one of those moments as well, actually. So you know the big like, it's not. I don't know how it's like ice. You know where old spawn is. You know, like all the ice water
spawn.
there, where
Yeah.
Pap is. So I killed a zombie, like one of the flame zombies, with the trebuchet pack punched, and it must have been like 10 meters away from my character, and somehow it downed me.
Wow.
And I was like, "How did that just happen?" So like it did it, and you can see me on stream. I'm literally just like, "That hit me." Because I was just mind blown. Like, I had only dabbled with realistic like twice before. There's a clip of me like downing, being just smacked from the side, and it frightened the crap out of me. Like, you physically see me jump and drop my controller. So like, I didn't really dabble with realistic.
Yeah.
So I was just scarred.
It's almost like whenever you have your back to a zombie in realistic, it's almost like they give you a hug just to down you. Because I swear the shield does bugger all in really realistic. Because honestly, I could have my back turned to them and they still somehow managed to reach around the shield and then whack me and I'm down. I'm just like,
I just think their arms are
this
longer
thing is
and
meant to
realistic.
protect me.
They grew like 6 feet.
Reach.
Yeah.
It's just like,
They grew like 6 feet. It's just like, hi there. Oh fuck. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Apart from that one moment where I don't know how I downed, I enjoyed it. I got the best box luck ever. Second hit, I got salvo, and luckily I had PhD on. And so literally, I got the salvo. I'm trying to shoot them. I'm trying not to down myself with the salvo. Finally get PhD. Finally get Victorious Tortoise. And what happens? Do I down? Yeah, I down. Yeah, I down. I spent all that points, and I down. I pack-a-punched the salvo maybe once, and all you can just see is me bouncing around in the water, just going up. I don't go, and trying to kill them all.
everywhere.
Like, no, but it was honestly, it was a lot of fun. But what did you think of which one was it? Because obviously I didn't do Gorod, Ascension, or Origins. What did you think of the Ascension one? No power.
I actually really enjoyed that one.
Like, because I saw your
really
team
enjoyed
was...
it.
You guys were camping up by power, weren't you? You were camping in that little bit.
Yeah.
Just watching the window and the bit where they were dropping down. And
Yeah, and the doorway.
I just gotta say, Newbie did a great job of guarding that door. He did a great job.
Did he even...
There was a bit where he was watching the door and then he went down.
I'm trying to remember, because I didn't think he was watching the door. I thought Benny was watching the door.
It was either
I knew that I was watching the windows.
It was either
the
Newbie
windows, sorry.
or... Who was the other one? Scorpiolo, was it? I think it was either one of those two. But they were watching the door, and then next thing you know, I see him, like, I see a revive symbol next to you, and I'm just like, great job, guys.
I was actually really scared when whoever it was went down next to the power switch, because I revived without even thinking that I was that close to the power switch. And I was like, I am so lucky that I actually hit revive then and not the power switch. Because I was stood right next to it. And like, when I was reviving, I was like, that could have been a yikes.
I'm sure another team actually turned the power on by mistake.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
don't
know.
I saw somebody message that.
Oh, I don't know who it was, but someone I was watching one of the streams and someone said, "Oh yeah, I forgot it was a no power challenge after they flicked the power on." I'm just like,
Good job.
great job, guys. I love it. You love to see it. But also I gotta say I really gutted I didn't do Origin Stein Room. I'm actually really gutted because that looked like a lot of fun.
Difficult. Oh, there was one part. So we did one run. We got to like round 12 or something, and then we started back up to try doing another run. and we didn't even load into the game. Like our game glitched, and we all got crushed by the foot. Like as soon as we spawned in.
Oh
Didn't know that could happen.
no, neither did
I
I.
didn't know it could happen either. But like
That's like
we got
one
crushed.
in a million.
Yeah, we
That
got
has-
crushed by the foot,
yeah.
and then
Cutscene
like
ends
we heard the the music when you get crushed by the foot. It plays.
Yeah.
We all heard that, and we were just like, "Oh, nice, nice."
Hmm.
So then we just had to roll it back again. We were like, didn't even know that could happen, but there we go.
That sounds like something
That-
BO2 Origins
I've-
would do.
That,
Yeah.
I feel like the only way that could happen is if the host lags like in the middle of the loading screen, but everybody else is loaded in, and just something happens where the foot just goes through the roof. That's
Like,
the
I
only
could-
way I
yeah.
could see that happening.
Possibly.
I could see that happening too. Newbies.
But that's like
internet, not
one. That's
best.
like 1 in a billion.
I know. It's
That's
like it happened, and we were
nuts.
just like, "What the hell?" And we actually meant to go back and do the theater mode and see what actually happened, but
Yeah.
like it's 100% being crushed by the foot. There's no way it would be anything else.
You
Nice.
definitely need to look at that in theater. I want to
Yeah.
know what that looks like.
Me too.
Just a loading screen and then the game over screen within a second of each other. That's probably what it looks like. You'd be like, oh, okay, that was a great game, guys. GG.
Yeah.
You can. You're able to like in theater mode. You're able to look around the map before like when like people are actually loaded into the game, like in theater mode.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like you'll just basically look like you'll be seeing everybody's player model doing that loading kind of animation where like it looks like they're supposed to be holding a C4.
Yeah, just like
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
Like this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Like so everybody will just be in that pose while you can like look around the map. Like if you have a pause.
And then the next thing we'll see is just all of us laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Great sight. Before I move on to James, because I want to hear his team's perspective, right? I have one more question. Where did you guys how did you guys do under Ice and Drag? Did you DNF?
Yeah.
You did? Where? I gotta know where.
The second Simon Says step.
The second
Samantha.
the second Simon
Samantha
Says.
Simon Says.
How? How did you DNF on Simon Says?
So we did the first Simon Says, like, to be honest, I think 2 people downed before they even got their bows or something. And
Mm.
then they just like bled out. And
Oof.
to be honest, we didn't have any practice. We did not practice at all in
You
the
and me
slightest.
both.
So, and like I can't even remember how to do. Like I said earlier, I can't remember how to do like any Easter eggs. And then I don't think Newbie could remember how to do it. Neither could Scorps or Benny. So we were all just like, "Yay!" So we had a walkthrough up as well.
Oh
So we
my
were just like,
God.
"Oh yeah, this one next, this one next."
What's going on?
Like I was literally gonna ask like how did you DNF your Ice and Drac? Like you could do that you could literally do that Easter egg in 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's just we literally just couldn't remember how to do it.
Like was it like what was it like classics only or like anything goes?
no, it was 3 megas, 2 classics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there were certain banned ones, like you couldn't
Yeah.
have shopping free, perkaholic. I can't remember the other ones.
I'm
Oh,
actually
no
I'm
near
actually
death
quite glad they
experience.
banned shopping free because none of the
Yeah.
E4Cs banned shopping free, and so that was an interesting change because then it makes you just automatically go, all right, well we got to apply extra credit, like, and
Yeah.
then next thing you know, every single member on your team has run extra credit. And Spike, I know you're saying how can you DNF the Rise and Drag? I'm with Zoe on this one. I DNF'd it as well, and it's because it's because I'm a dumb fuck. Because I didn't take Mustang and not Mustang and Sally. What's the other one?
Death and taxes.
Death and
That,
taxes.
that one. I didn't take that into the boss fight.
Yeah.
Fucking noobs.
Dang it, Jack.
Every
Imagine
the
getting
Ice
into the
and
boss
Drag
fight.
run, every the Ice and Drag run I've done, I've taken that gun into the boss fight. Why did I decide to change it for this goddamn competition? And that's how,
You're
like,
such a noob.
we honestly, it was on the final. Like we got through stage 1 of the Keeper, then we had to do stage 2 twice because there wasn't enough damage. Done the first of stage 3, and then I mucked up because someone shot the lightning bow in the middle, and I thought it was the Keeper that was coming down. So I placed my rags, and then I saw it disappear. I'm like, "You bastards! You shot the lightning bow in the goddamn middle!" And then next thing I know, I actually see the ball of energy. I'll be like, okay, right, the rags are down, guys. Next thing I know, I just see the lightning come swooshing past us. 3 of us down, 1 person alive, then he downs. I'm just like, why did I not just take
See,
death and taxes?
that's why you need near-death experience.
You don't know. That's the thing.
Wow.
I've done that Easter egg.
It makes everything so much easier.
I've
though.
done that Easter egg. Danger
Head drama
closest,
is-
Juggernog only.
Head
You
drama
don't need
is
it.
so much better for the DE boss fight.
I was gonna say I
Head
just
drama
did-
is so much better.
Sorry, Carl. What was
I
you saying?
run head drama every time.
yeah.
We actually 2 of us. Was it 2 of us? 2 or 3 of us ran pop shocks.
Mhm.
Because obviously they one hit the panzers. And it was just like this was a
That could
strat
also work.
before. This was a strat before I even was even playing. I missed like Zombie who invited me to their group chat, and I was just like, "How about you try this because it insta hits the panzers?" It was just like, actually, that's not a bad shot. So we did it. 3 of us ran pop shocks, but we just didn't do enough damage on the keeper, and then before you know it, we all down.
KIA.
It's just
I feel
That's
like-
interesting
I
because
feel like having.
it's gutted.
no, go ahead. Go
on,
ahead.
Brady. Okay. I just feel like using pop shocks during the whole like Panther phase. That seems really, really risky, especially for how hectic it is. Like 3 Panthers at once, as well as a bunch of zombies spawning in. That seems really, really hectic. Where with head drum, you can just easily shoot them and like they die in 2 shotgun shots.
It's actually not because you stun them with the firebow and then just one hit them. Simple as.
I just feel like that's too much extra work for a better solution with head drama.
Head drama's great. I absolutely love head drama in that boss fight. And I
Was
actually,
head drama banned?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't bad.
No.
Then
At
why
least I
did you
hope
use
not.
head drama?
I actually.
Excuse me for
I'm
wanting to try
gonna see what
something
ones were
different.
banned.
Excuse me for wanting to try a different method. Like, you know, I sincerely apologize that I'm not sticking to the same way every single time I do that godforsaken Easter egg.
Jack, we do this Easter egg the same way every time we play the map, and just for whatever reason, you're like, let's do something different. And then you
Oh yeah,
fuck it up.
It's for chat.
the only banned ones were shopping free, near death experience, flavor hex, power vacuum, raindrops, and perkaholic.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Which sounds
I was
about
gonna
right
say
because they are
before-
the overpowered gobblegums.
What I was gonna say before was like it's when you guys all talking about like bring the death and taxes, like doing this. I have always done that Easter egg a completely different way. Like my entire team, we ran pack punch KRMs and head drama, and I think 1 of us or 2 of us had like in plain sight, just in case someone needed to revive.
Okay.
Whenever I play that, I'm always KRM and a bow, and you just like use the bow. That works for me. And then I use danger closest. I don't know if you guys. I forget. I think it was Noah J did a whole series where he was trying to do the Duraz and Drek boss fight with no perks, and he would always use danger closest for the Panzer, like the blue EMP things, and it put me onto that, and I
Yeah.
have like
The
I've
tram
never looked
fuses.
back.
Wow.
So that's
I
what we did,
used-
and it managed to work. I was surprised, but
I used to use danger close for that boss fight, but then I came to the realization that head drama just pretty much works.
head drama is so good.
It's so broken, honestly. It genuinely is against Panzers. Like literally just 2 shotgun shots from the KRM puts them down so fast.
Head drama's so good in that boss fight. It's honestly, it's remarkable how much it actually changes it up. And
Oh yeah.
when the Gobblegum first came out, people were just looking at it thinking, what the hell's the point of this? Someone tries it in the boss fight. This is the best thing ever. No.
Oh, that's the point in it.
Exactly.
Actually broken. My setup usually for the DE boss fight is bow, KRM, and death and taxes. I don't use the bow against the keeper. I just use it to fill up rags or to just kill anything in my way.
Are you able to do that boss fight without the bow?
Yeah.
You can.
I think so. If you
I
bring
wouldn't
death and
see why
taxes
not.
or the XM.
Okay. One day
XM
I'm
usually
gonna
wrecks
try it without the bow.
keeper, so
One day I'm gonna try without the bow and see how it is, because quite frankly, you're using KRM for the Panzers and you're using Mustang Sally.
Yeah.
Death and taxes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I wouldn't
For
see
the,
why
um,
you couldn't. I generally
I
cannot see
would
why
say
you couldn't.
ammo. Ammo would be the biggest thing because if you don't fill up your rags, then like you're screwed. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously
that's
you
one-
need 'em
I
that's
would say
to
one
the,
problem.
keep-
getting to the first stage, because usually when you kill those panzers, you don't have quite enough. So that's when I usually use the bow and just kill as many skeletons as I can.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
think if you get past that, like, I don't see why not.
I know there's just something like, 'cause obviously you use the bow for the keeper beforehand to fill him up, and then after that, I don't even think you need it.
Well,
Hey, Codename
so I'm
Pizza,
thinking-
Mythbusting Mondays.
I'm thinking the
pretty good
strategy
challenge,
could
too.
be. Yeah, I'm thinking the strategy could be like first wave. You don't shoot any zombies, because obviously you don't need to fill up rags or anything. So you put them down, get the keeper phase 1 with death and taxes, and then you can fill up the majority of like your rag meter with panzers if you
Yeah.
have head drama. Like, so you can probably get like 3/4 of that the way done. Kill some more zombies with the shotgun, and then just go on to the next phase and just keep repeating that process. I generally do not see why you couldn't do that boss fight without the bow.
I think it's something to try. I think it's definitely something to
Yeah.
look into.
That'd be
Maybe.
cool.
Okay. Now, James, let's hear from your perspective. Team Ravenlords.
Oh boy.
So I want to know how you, because obviously you said that you guys didn't complete the 9.
Yeah.
But how did you guys do on the BO3 Easter eggs and challenges?
We did a lot better than I thought we were going to. So once again, just for anyone who probably isn't familiar, I think we were definitely like one of the less vocal teams, especially like in the Discord kind of leading up to it. We all kind of kept to ourselves, but there was supposed to be 4 of us, obviously, and then our 4th just didn't show up. Like, wasn't on Xbox, wasn't on Discord. So our captain, Mysterio, but whichever he prefers to go by, hit up Zazu, was like, hey, here's our situation. We have 3 people. Can we just keep going with 3 people? And he said sure, so we went after it. So I would say for BO3 and even like BO4, for how little we practiced with just 3 people, like it went really well. I'd say our best run, like Garage was our best run we had had, even though we DNF'd. Like Horizon was our best run we had had, regardless of the fact that we were used to having 4 people. So I was really pleased with how we did considering the circumstances. Like, had we had a 4th in a little bit different circumstances, I would have hoped we would have done a little bit better. But I was just really happy with how we played, frankly. Like, overall, I think we did well for our situation.
Who was your 4th?
So it was supposed to be Eclipse. So it was me, Mystery, his friend Benji, and then Eclipse. But Eclipse just, I don't know where he was.
Has
Just
he
wasn't there.
Has he spoken to you guys since?
No, I don't like.
Wow.
He was definitely the hardest person to get in contact with, and like this is literally no disrespect. Like I don't have any like bad feelings towards him. Like no hate, no nothing. Like it's literally just like he didn't show up. Whatever. Like it sucks, but it's more of a loss in like the event than anything else, and like a loss on his part because it was a dope event.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for real.
yeah, it was always like hard to get in contact with him. When he showed up, it was great. Like we had a good time. He played well. We all played well together, but I just don't know where it was on the actual day of.
Wow.
It's interesting that he
So-
hasn't he still hasn't contacted you even since the event. Like it makes me think he's gone to the moon. He's just left
Yeah,
the
I-
Earth and he's gone to the moon. He's chilling
I
up
have
there
no
looking
clue.
over. Oh, this is such a beautiful sight. Why didn't you come to the event, you fuck?
Yeah, but no, I mean it was whatever. Like we knew that there was that possibility heading into it, but we're all just like, no, it'll be fine. Like he'll
actually,
show up, we'll be good.
like,
And then like,
I'm pretty sure me and Newbie thought that one of ours wouldn't show up as well.
Well, Scorpio,
'Cause,
like,
we had no Scorps. We thought he would show up. He was late, but he still showed up. No, we thought that Benny wasn't gonna show up.
oh really?
Yeah, just because like me, Newbie, Scorps, we're all UK. Benny, he was California, so he had to wake up early for this event.
Oh Jesus!
And we
Wow.
didn't think that he was gonna show up, but he did. So
I was lucky.
yeah,
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 we
because
had a
honestly,
similar situation. I was
like,
gonna say with me, I was East Coast. I think Eclipse was either Central or like Mountain Time, which is an hour or 2 behind East Coast. And then Mystery and Benji are both from Hungary, like I said earlier. So for them, like it was completely different. And then like they both like English wasn't their first language, so they were like,
oh wow,
this huge shout out to them because like they were perfect about like speaking in English. Like it's crazy how much of the game we can just understand by like what's going on in the game itself. But So they were awesome about communicating to us in English, but there were sometimes where like one of them would really want to say something and then they'd go back and forth in Hungarian and be like,
Yeah.
what's going on? I'm just sitting there like, and then one of them would come back with like what they're trying to say. So it's like, okay, but like huge shout out to them. So much respect to them going in and like working through and like us finding a way to kind of like bridge that language barrier that kind of existed.
Did they have thick accents?
That's sick.
They definitely did have accents. Yeah, like it was the first couple times I talked to him was like, this might end up being a problem because I don't really get what's going on. But once we got to like really playing so much of like, if this like Panzer, like boom, we all know what's going on. Like there's no, a lot of like the zombies related stuff was pretty easy to understand. It was like the in between, like I know for our Ascension run, we had planned to camp up top at Power, but that usually works with 4 people, not 3.
Yeah.
So when we like, okay, we're getting overrun here, we're gonna move. Like that whole conversation of like, oh, we gotta move. Where are we gonna move to? What's the next? Like that's kind of stuff. Definitely took an extra step of getting there, but like I said, like so much respect to them because they did an incredible job catering to me, who's just dumb and American who only speaks English. So
I'm in the same boat. I'm English and nobody speaks English.
But so like I said, huge shout out to them. But it was crazy the timing with like different people from different time zones and stuff, but it all worked out in the end. So
it's nuts that like, especially in an event like that, because you have people from all over the world coming into this event, and you have people who have to get up like insanely early for this. You have people who are going to bed insanely late because of it. Like, but at the end of the day, I mean, to be honest, though, I felt when you messaged me and said, "Are you a part of Zombies for Charity?" I'm just like, oh. I was this close to turn around and saying, "No, why do you need a 4th?" But I had to be honest and say, "Sorry, dude, I'm filling in for this guy." But if I wasn't, I would have joined you 100%, because then that also would have been handy. That would have been handy for you as well, because then you would have had someone there you could understand better and you can communicate like well with.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been fun to see what we would have been like in the competition. You there, all calm and chill. I'm on 5 cups of coffee, bouncing around all over the place. I think that would have been a right laugh.
But yeah, no, it was one of those things where it's just like, yo, the first challenge starts in 10 minutes. Do you know anyone who might be interested? It's like, well, I'm just going to start just grasping at straws here. Like anyone I might know that's interested. So
yeah.
But no, it wasn't like, oh, damn you, Lobster, for not helping our team out. Like it's whatever. Like we played with 3 people, it went well.
I never thought that.
There was a few things where we had really good 4-player strategies, like Origins. Our strat was going to be each person camp at one window till you get your headshots, grab your pack punch weapon, and then camp in a corner. And it's very different with 4 people versus 3 people.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I would say the biggest one was with Dead of the Night. Like we had practiced that with 4 people the week before, and that was probably the challenge that I felt the best about. And then you take one person out of the equation, and it was like, I think we still did well, but it was nowhere near as well as I think we could have done given an extra person.
Honestly, Dead of the Night was an interesting one. I
forgot that was a thing.
I quite enjoyed it.
I forgot about that challenge.
I quite enjoyed it. It was interesting to see the kind of strategies, because obviously my team we hadn't practice. I came in at the last minute. I got no practice in whatsoever. The only amount of practice I did was I had to learn the firebow, because the guy I was replacing was doing the firebow, and it's actually lucky that I did, because then I got it in 2 Wonder Spheres. Like I've never done it that good in my life. Got it in 2 Wonder Spheres, and it actually saved us so many times rather than me spending thousands and thousands of points on the Wonder Sphere trying to hit the center one. So I was really lucky about that, but we had no practice. But the Dead of the Night one was really interesting, because our the guy who contacted me dubbed out. We got to a point where I was running low on ammo from the Sorg, and I ran to get ammo, and I got caught in the corner and I went down. He come and revived me, and the next thing I know, he's blurting out at me saying, "You had no reason to be over here." I'm like, dude, I'm buying ammo for the Sorg. I have my reasons. It's just like, no, you didn't have any reason to do this. I'm just like, and then Zombie, who just bought in, he was just like, dude, he was getting ammo. Chill, dude. Chill. But honestly, if you play with Dubs, don't ever make a mistake ever. Don't ever make a mistake ever, because he will rage.
You need to be 100% perfect.
He's
That's
just
an
like,
understatement.
I'm throwing all these strategies out there and no one's listening. Why do I bother throwing strategies and no one's ever going to listen or no one's going to respond? And that's what he was like on 9. And obviously by that point, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for me and Zombie Who, and we're
Oh
just
my
like,
god,
dude.
yeah.
But he was constantly, he was continuing to rant on about previous games. And I was just like,
Oh my
dude,
god.
whatever. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. I'm tired. My bed is calling my name. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I don't even know why I bother doing that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care. I just don't care by this point.
Imagine taking a charity event seriously. Couldn't be
That's
me.
so unfortunate.
He was taking it really seriously.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I wasn't taking it seriously. I was gutted about the mistake I made with the Horizon Drag. But we then managed to complete Alpha Omega, which I was really happy about. By that point, we just wanted a completion because they had failed Gorod as well. And so by that point, they just wanted a completion. So we're like, all right, boys, Alpha Omega, this is the one. Like, we don't care for first or anything like that. We are just going to aim for this completion. And we got it, which we were really happy about. Dead of the Night, we did actually quite good on. And Targ, we actually did not too bad on as well. But then, now this is what I want to ask both of you. Zoe, you've already told me your answer, but James, did you know? Oh, no, it doesn't matter because you didn't do 9. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Because me and Zoe were both in the same boat. We weren't told that they were starting 9.
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't until I looked over at Zoe's stream and I saw her and her team were playing that I had to turn around and say to my team, dude, they've started. They've started.
Yeah.
It's just like, and they didn't believe me. They were just like, no way. And then I was just like, dude, Zoe's on 9. She's actually playing with the team. And that's when, like, we just weren't told. We weren't told at all. And I was just like,
I would say, like, the
Jesus.
biggest thing for me was after Dead of the Night. It was just like, it kind of became really confusing because a bunch of teams switched up and it went from like, oh, like this team's losing a person, this team's losing a person. Then they like made a new team. Like it definitely got to a point where like, if everyone had just stuck with like their teams, it would have gone a little bit more smoothly. Like, I'm not going to place blame on anyone. Like, if you have other plans, like, I respect that completely. Like, go do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it just got to a point where, like, because there were so many changes going on, the communication just kind of went out the window to like all the players.
Yeah.
And then when you have this thing where, Zoe, I know you talked about like some things were only communicated to the captains. So it's like this trickle down effect of, oh, if one person tells this person, then they have to tell like how much of the
Yeah.
original message is going to get there. And it's really confusing. But that was us for like Tog. We're just kind of waiting. And eventually it's just like, oh, we're playing Tog or Toten. All right, cool. Let's go. Like, let's do it.
Yeah,
But
that was one Easter egg. I can't remember which one it was. But like so they had told us that the DNF timer had started and we were like, oh okay, cool. But they didn't tell us when the DNF timer ended. So we were
Oh.
still going and then they were like,
Oh.
oh yeah, by the way, the DNF timer ended like 5 minutes ago or like 10 minutes ago, and we were like, tight.
yeah, we had a similar situation for our team on Derives and Drac. I just remember like we had such a good start. We were maybe 4 minutes in. Like I was already starting the lightning bow. It was probably one of our best runs. And
Nice.
then Greg just popped into our chat. Was like, "Yo, you're the only team going. Like, stop. We didn't start." I was like, "How is that possible?" I could have sworn I was on the stream, saw everyone else starting. Apparently, we're the only team playing.
Yeah, we saw some people starting as well. Like I'd watch I'd like come into Greg's stream every now and then then I'd see like some of the people play and I'm like, are we supposed to be playing right now or? And then they were like, oh no, but why are they playing and we're not? It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like honestly, did you guys find that the gaps between the challenges were just ridiculously
Extremely
long,
long.
just waiting?
Yeah.
Like, quite frankly, it should have been maybe a 5-minute wait, and then boom, we start. Like this is after everyone's like completed or they DNF'd. 5-minute wait, then we start and get into the next challenge.
I agree.
Me and Zombie who were moaning so much because we were both just like, this is just ridiculous. And then on top of that, we had obviously the 40-minute break between BO3 and BO4, which I had no idea that there was a trivia round. Thanks for that.
I had no idea. Like we were supposed to record it, and then obviously all that stuff went down in the chat where I got told that I had no excuse not to know about it, and I was like, listen, if my captain
what's
didn't
that
tell
about?
me, he didn't tell me. Like it's not my fault. But basically it started like drama, and I was like, okay, the last thing I want is to start drama. Sorry for not knowing about any of this. But yeah, we got they messaged the chat and they were like, oh, I think it'd be best if we just cancel the trivia round. And then next thing I know is that there's still a trivia round, but our team just hadn't taken part in it, and it was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Everything should have been set in stone right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And if there were to be changes, that needs to be communicated properly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like from then, everything just got like sent to everybody that needed to be known. So I was like, okay, thank God that changed, but it is a little bit late in the event. Like this
Yeah.
was like 3 days before the actual day, and it was like, well, I'm happy that you have finally messaged to like everybody individually about it, but not happy that it's only 3 days before the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just something that they can do for the next event. So
Which you know
Yeah, I
what? I'm
also
actually
think
interested to see what happens with the next event. Like, because James, when did they approach you to be on it?
I just remember I had kind of I had taken a big break from zombies. We're just kind of gonna glance over that. I definitely took some time off, but I was kind of coming back into it. I was checking my Twitter again with all my zombie stuff, and I just saw I know a guy, Asteroid Delta.
I know
So
Delta.
I know
Yeah.
him. He's been in my streams for a long time. And I just remember him seeing like he retweeted something that was zombies for charity. Like, we're looking for more people, DM or message us if interested. So I just responded. I was like, oh, like, maybe like, here's my channel link. I'd love to be a part of it. Just let me know. Until a couple weeks later. And this was back in like February or March.
Oh wow.
So it was a while ago. And they had sent me a link to the Discord. And then I would say there's like a couple months where I just heard nothing. And then I was like, all right, this is actually getting close. Like, here's what's going down. Here's your team. Like, that kind of stuff kind of fell into place after. But for me, it's crazy because now that the event's passed, but it was months and months and months before that.
Wow. That's nuts.
yeah, because mine was November, so obviously this had been in the
works for a while.
But yeah,
Wow.
I have to
I
say,
wasn't like one of the first people in there.
I have to admit, right, because like Zoe, before I followed you, I was kind of hopping in and out of your streams a little bit, like just branching through different content creators, like I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there was when Zombies for Charity was first announced, I was actually thinking, I reckon they're going to approach you about it, and then they they tweeted something else, and I retweeted it, tagged you in it, and I said, hey, I think you'd be quite good for this, and then you just sent me the emoji going.
Because they had already approached me,
like
ages ago, and then when they were saying that, when they put that tweet out, and then obviously you tagged me, I was just like, because I knew, and I didn't want to say anything until like people had started announcing it.
No, that's fair. I mean, to be honest, there were so many people in that I didn't know though. I wasn't familiar. I was familiar with obviously you two. I knew Zombie Who. I know who DK Dynamite is. But a bunch of the other guys I didn't even recognize. I didn't even know they were content creators, they were streamers and all sorts. So it was interesting to see kind of how their teams were doing, and I know there's one team that were just absolutely smashing it, and to be honest, I'm not surprised because apparently they had done probably the most practice out of anybody. Which
Imagine
I think
practicing.
that's the biggest fault though. Like,
Feel that.
if I'm not saying they're gonna, but if they decide to approach me next year for like to be a part of it, I need the practice. I can't go into an event like that again and have absolutely no practice whatsoever. It's hard, especially with people that you've never played with before. Like, you're getting put into a group of strangers, and you're just like, hey, work together. And then I come in at the last minute, and they're just like, hey, okay, so he's going, you have to come in, and then, hey, work together. And I'm just like, I've had no practice. I barely even know these guys. But I suppose it worked out okay, and like I'm not gonna say it worked out the best because of the amount of DNFs we had, but it was still fun nonetheless. I was really happy to be like Carl. I'll forever thank Zombie Who for messaging me about that. Like, because he approached you, didn't he? He approached you to
he
be
did. Yeah, when he asked me, I was like, crap. I was like, I work overnight Saturday, so I mean, it's like, yeah, I could have made it, and I could have made it through all the way to like 9, but I probably would have either had to quit in the middle of 9 or
Right.
had to just quit like when y'all started 9, but then you'd be down a person, and I was like, and I don't know if I'm gonna still be asleep or not. I'm just like, I don't want to promise and make a commitment and then bail out or
Sure.
not show up. So.
Actually,
And then he came to you and he told me that. I was like, well, great, that's great, because Jack would be great for it.
yeah, he made me laugh. He got me into the group chat and was just like, Lobster is 100% better at Easter eggs than I am. I'm just like, well, I don't like the only thing I struggle with on 9 is the ball heads.
Yeah.
The Rise of Drac, I'm very fortunate because I know that map and that egg off by heart. I could probably do that blindfolded.
Challenge.
Yeah.
You could do it first.
You
got to do a blindfolded stream. Actually,
Actually,
where's the petition? Where's the
The
petition?
petition isn't signed all the way yet.
Damn it. Guys, find the petition, sign it, get a blindfold stream. But nonetheless, I was really happy to be part of it and to raise that amount of money for charity, being that good of a cause. It's just such a nice feeling. And next year, I can only hope and see. Well, I wait and see what next year brings for them. Like, I think they can honestly. I reckon they could probably be their goal again.
I think they could smash 10K, honestly.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like then I mean the thing is that I've seen people that are expecting them to be like E for C, but what they got to take into account is that you are looking at 17 of the biggest content creators of all time with millions upon millions of subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a no wonder they raised 200K in the second year. But raising 6.1K for, like, there might have been more of us, but collectively we are still a lot smaller than what those guys are. But 6.2, sorry, I keep saying 6.1, 6.2K is still a huge amount to raise for such a great cause. And honestly, I applaud them. I absolutely applaud them for raising that amount of money in, like, with all the little content creators they had and the span of time. It was remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
I believe before the main event even started, we had 2.3K raised.
That's amazing.
Friggin' incredible, honestly. So that was 4K raised on the actual day.
And that's what, 2.3K out of a $1,000 goal, which this all started from. Like, we had doubled it, and the event hadn't even started yet.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I remember when we were doing the draft event, like, obviously I had to be there because I was newbie's auto pick. And I remember, like, these donations were all just coming in. It's like, this is just the draft event. This isn't even the main event yet. This is incredible.
Why were you newbie's auto pick?
Because me and Newbie, we are friends. We have, like, we used to have a series on YouTube together.
Fair enough.
Like, me and him are, like, probably, we're the friendliest out of everybody that was in the group. So he got picked to be a captain, and then he was like, oh yeah, I picked Zoe. But apparently, ZombSquad wanted me to be an auto pick. I don't think he ended up being in a team
he was
on
host,
the
wasn't
day.
he?
Yeah, but apparently he was going to be a captain. But apparently he wanted me as well.
Wow.
And here I was thinking, I'm going to be that person in gym that nobody wants on the team until last.
That's me. That's me.
That was also, that's what I thought I was going to be going in.
Wow. Auto pick. I've never heard that in my life. I didn't even think you could have auto picks. Like, I suppose
everybody had an auto pick. Well, every team, every captain had one person that they could pick straight up.
One thing I would say about that though is that it's then easier for, like, if someone knows who you're going for, it's then easier for someone else to snag you and screw that team over in a way. Just like Lex did in the E for C2 when he snagged Liam.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Mhm.
So that's why I think auto picks, while they're great, you know, if you get that player, fantastic. You are like, you're guaranteed to have really good games. But it's an easier for other people to snag you, and that's why if I was ever a captain, I wouldn't even say a peep about who I would be picking. Like, I would keep my mouth shut. If someone asked me, I'd be like, no, I'm not saying a single thing. You ain't knowing shit, boy, until you wait for the event. God damn it.
I mean, like, for the draft event, like, the auto picks had already been chosen. I can't remember when the auto picks actually got chosen. I don't think there was an event for that. But, like, me and Newbie, we knew which 2 people we wanted for the draft event, and we got one of them, but the other person we didn't.
Oh, who was the other one?
But, so we originally wanted Scorpiolo, who we got, and Stale, but Stale got picked by the team before us.
Oh.
So, like, it was weird because this team before us, they had picked somebody, and then they somehow managed to unpick that pick and take Stale. And it was like, well, how did they do that?
I don't think you could do that.
No, I don't think you could do that either. So, like, I saw the picture get dragged onto their team, and then it got dragged away and somebody else got put there, and I was like, how did that happen?
Didn't think, no, that shouldn't be right. Once you have the pick, that's it. That's set in stone. That's your pick.
I don't understand how it happened. Like, to be honest, it was very, very, very loud in that call. So I didn't really understand what was happening. Like, I was just there, like, my ears were bleeding, and I'm like, I don't want to be here.
When you have
Like,
that many people in a Discord call,
Yeah.
it's
my.
ear rape central.
for
many
real.
people
You
were
cannot
there?
think.
30
How many
plus
people-
easily.
Oh my god.
It was, wait,
So,
how many people
like-
were there? 44?
And something like that. And then when you're getting donations as well, they're all going, ah! And it's like, imagine that times 30. And it's like, my ears.
My poor ears. I got that when I first joined the call when I was brought into the Discord server. When Zazu was just like, oh yeah, we need everybody to be in the call. And then you have, like, there was this one guy right at the top of the list. He was louder than everyone else. I'm just like, right, I'm going to have to turn you down just a little bit. Put him down to
I mean, it
50
makes sense for them
volume.
being at the top of the list and being the loudest.
It's just you can't think as well. Like, when you have that many people shouting or just even speaking at a loud volume, you cannot think.
Yeah,
Like,
your brain just does not exist.
It doesn't exist. It's like it's overworking itself, but then it's just like, nah, I'm going back.
Being in that Discord server must have been like, I live in a constant state of noise.
When
That
you're
was
all in
my
the call
thing during
together,
the stream.
go on.
Towards the end, like, I would have my teammates in my ear, and I had just ended up on my stream like muting my desktop audio so they could only hear me, but like I could hear myself through my microphone, my teammates. I'd be watching like Greg's stream, so I can hear Greg. I can hear the 4 people that are on a team that Greg's watching, or I'd pop into the Discord and there'd be 20 people in the general chat. Like, it got to a point where, like, when I went to bed that night, I was just so happy that it was like quiet. I was like, I just need there to not be constant like people talking in my ears and just like games sound and donation sounds. Like, it's all great, but just like I need to just like shut myself in a room and have it be dead quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, like, right at the end of the stream as well, or like after 9 had finished, like, we all went into the call to like see who had won, and like everybody was just going off in the call, and like my stream was like, it's so loud, and I'm like, I muted them, and I was like, I agree, it's very loud, and I was like, it's too much for me. So
Who actually won? I don't even know who won.
Space Cadets, something like that.
Space Cadets. Oh, okay. We
can't remember
honestly,
the name
we don't even
exactly,
know where
but-
we placed.
Oh, we were
It's-
second to last.
So,
And do you want to know why we weren't last?
why? Who came
Because
last?
the team dropped out.
Oh my god.
So two people left from one team, and then two people left from another team, and then those two people that were left on both teams joined to make one. So one of the teams just ended up like not being used.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't
But
know about that one.
our team literally all went in. We were like, we don't care about winning. We don't care about losing. Like, we are just there to raise money for charity. Like, we don't care
Yeah.
where we place.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, our team being the team that like didn't practice, we were like, if we don't place last, it'll be a miracle.
You did place last. There you go.
And we didn't place last.
There you go.
That's
We were definitely the
that's
same
unreal,
way
that is.
too.
Like, honestly, my team, we don't even know where we placed. We have absolutely no idea where we placed because once we were done with 9, me and Zombie Who
You
were
just
out
dipped.
of there so
Yeah.
quick that I literally left the call, shut everything down, crawled into bed, fell asleep, and I was just like, oh, peace. And then I just
could
drifted
not
off.
wait to take Scarlett's corset off, honestly. Like, halfway through the stream,
it-
like, I took the wig off. Like, I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. Just took the wig off, threw it. And then, like, after the stream ended, like, after I ended my stream, like, I just took off my corset and my rolls just hung out. And I was like, I'm free.
I have to admit, though, that was a great cosplay.
Hey, thanks.
It was really good. Like, a lot of people absolutely loved that, especially in my chat. But they love you anyway, so.
Oh.
But there's actually one thing. There's one thing I want to go around and ask everybody. Like, even the people who didn't actually play in Zombies, something for charity. I want to know. If you were team captain, and you had first pick out of any player that's like they could be in the event or not, who would you pick and why? I'm gonna start with Spike.
You, Jack.
Why me?
Well, we've done so many Easter eggs together. We also have known each other for so long. We just work together well.
Okay, you're really not gonna like my answer.
You son of a bitch.
I'll tell you what, we'll go around. Zoe.
Hi. Honestly, I wouldn't know who I'd pick, but I know I would like it to be somebody that I am friendly with, somebody who doesn't take anything too seriously, and like someone I can just have a good time with.
Okay. But you haven't got any particular players in mind, though.
No.
Okay.
Like, that's why Newbie picked me, because like me and him, we get on well. Like, we know we don't take shit too seriously.
Yeah.
So
Kyle, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna back up exactly what Zoe said, and this is what I've told who, and I believe I told you, Jack. Like my best friend Ben. We played through most of all of BO4 together. We beat 9, Blood, Voyage, Ancient Evil. We just didn't finish Alpha Meg and Tog. I finished those off with Jack, but like he's one of my IRL friends, so I know him. You know, here he lives in my city, and we went to high school together. But he has like no connection to zombies at all. Like he's not in it like I am, but he's actually the person, ironically enough, that got me into it. But we just play really well. We communicate well. Like neither one of us, you know, because he doesn't really, you know, he doesn't play as much. He doesn't, you know, neither one of us are really that like, oh, I got to do this or, you know, you got to do that. It's like basically we find what we need to do and we come together and we figure it out and we know like what steps that we can do, you know, I can do or he can do. So
Yeah.
I echo that. It's like if you get the right person that you know how to communicate well with and that you can get along with, it's pretty easy.
That's fair. Like, and honestly, that chemistry that you have with him, I mean, that's a really big factor because if you choose someone that you don't even know, that you've never spoken to before, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, there's no point at all.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, like I said, it's like I kind of said, like you could throw all the best. I think I said in your stream, you could throw probably all the best YouTubers together, you know. But at the end of the day, I mean, unless they play a lot together, you know. I mean,
I was gonna say, if there's no chemistry there, then
it's not.
It's just not there.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
James, what about you?
Oh, I hate to be a disappointment, but I'm pretty much gonna say the same thing. Like, I like you said, you could pick some of the best people. Like,
Yeah.
Greg's insane at speedrunning Easter eggs, but like I've maybe spoken to Greg once, so could I say I would play well in like a team with someone like him? Probably not, just because we don't know each other that well. So like, I'm gonna completely echo before. Like, I know my brother. I play with him a ton off stream and even on stream sometimes. Like I'm not gonna say we're like the best at Easter eggs. We're not the best at challenges. We probably wouldn't have the strategy, but like I think keeping in mind the charity aspect, like the entertainment and just like the chemistry there. Or I have a buddy, Joe or King Jose, who I've met through kind of doing some YouTube stuff and around my channel. Like I said, we're not gonna be the best. We're probably not gonna take it very seriously in terms of like the challenge and stuff, but like we'll have a great time and like the chemistry of playing together will be really, really good. We'll play well together just because we feel comfortable, we know each other, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So for me too.
So, right now, this is where things are gonna get weird because, funnily enough, and weirdly enough, I've actually dreamt about that once. I dreamt that I was picked as a captain for a Zombies charity event. What wasn't specifically E4C or ZWC or whatever. It was just a Zombies charity event, and I was picked as a captain. And there weren't any. It wasn't like you have set players on the board. This was pretty much like a branch out of you could pick anyone. And honestly, I'm between 4 people. And it all comes down to like I've played with them, the chemistry, we work really well together, and just all around I know we could do well. And so Spike, I'm not gonna lie, it is you. It is you because of the amount of speedruns that we've done, whether it be classic, whether it be megas, whether it be 2-player, 3-player, 4-player.
Starting room.
You like starting rooms. You are up there in terms of like one of the first people I would pick. But then under that, there's 3 others, and honestly, if we had a team of 5, which I know we can't, but I would pick these well, these 4 people would be in my circulation, and whoever I would get, I would be insanely happy with. The second one is Pete, and that's because again I've done so many speedruns with him. I know him really well. I mean, he's my goddamn right hand man, for crying out loud. He's like he is my right hand man in Discord and in the chat, and like, so he's an obvious pick. The third pick is actually you, Kyle, and I say that because the amount of games that we have done together, I know if you had lots and lots of practice, you would be really good at speedruns. Really good. I've seen you do 9 when you race against Golden, is it?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
And so, unlike the potential's there, dude. If you had practice, I know you could do insanely well. Like just coordination, telling you to go like here, do this, do that. It's there.
Yeah.
It is 100% there. And then comes down to my 4th pick, which I'm actually not going to say, only because it's a bit of a weird pick in the sense that it would never happen. Like, and it is Reed.
I was literally just thinking Reed.
It is Reed.
Thinking that.
In my head, I knew it.
It is Reed, because freaking 2-time Easter eggs for charity winner, 1-time ZWC winner. He knows the strats. He knows the games. He'd be such a solid pick. But then it then branches out to all these other players as well. Like, honestly, every single person in this Discord call, I think we would do insanely well if we worked as a team in a competition. Like, I'd love to see that. I would honestly be interested to see what that would be like.
Let me practice first.
Okay. Like, granted, I know time zones are an absolute bitch and a half. Especially for you, Kyle. I feel so sorry for you, dude. Like,
yeah, I never get to see your streams because I'm at work, and then by the time I get off work, you're just getting off, and just like your night, and it's like, crap.
Which was actually nice because the other day was nice that I finished the stream earlier because then I could raid you.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Thanks.
Like, and it's nice when I can do that. And quite frankly, I'm going to do more raids because I think they're actually quite fun.
Yeah.
You know, I take the chat over there and they just spam Mad Family Raid, and that's what I'd love to.
Raids are great, but when I finish streaming, like the only other person that I know is streaming is Hot Nipple. So I'm just like, you get a raid.
You get a raid every time. Free raids for you.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I also gotta say, like, every time I raid someone, I feel like I've probably done a decent number of raids. And there's probably been like 4 people that pronounce my name right. That's just like a personal pet peeve of mine, but like, I don't blame them. I know that reading chat's like insanely hard from like Jay Brady, and they're just like, JBradyGames. I was like, oh no, that ain't like, that ain't it. Just that ain't it. But no,
That
like,
ain't it,
I
Chief.
feel the same problem because it's like the same like 3 or 4 people that are actually streaming that aren't like just streaming with no gameplay or like not reading chat or anything. Because I want it to be like a fun experience for them. Because like if you go in and you spam someone's chat who's just like playing a game, streaming, they're not gonna read it. Like you supported them, and that part of it's cool. But part of the fun of it is like they get to experience that. I feel it's a very like selfish thing to say. Like you have fun with their reaction of it, but like that's part of it. Definitely, it's the fun of like giving someone else that like excitement of like, oh my goodness, there's X amount of people in my stream. That never happens. Like I had a guy message me a couple weeks ago where he's like, dude, I was pretty sure that was like the last stream I was ever going to do on YouTube. Like I wasn't having fun with it. And like your rage is like, it can be more fun. Like I need to get to that point, but like, this is what it can be like kind of thing. So that like, that definitely hit really close to me. Cause I was like, I'm not going to, I bring you maybe 5 more people. Like it's not a lot, but it just shows you like there's still a lot of that excitement and like that love in the community that I really like to just show.
Yeah, like raiding someone is always a fun experience, but the complete unknown that you're gonna get raided yourself is,
oh my gosh,
is something that I never thought I would experience.
Yeah.
And that first time that Codename Pizza raided me, I was like, I'm pretty sure my jaw just dropped to the floor, and it was like I was not expecting it whatsoever. And then he fucking raided me a second time, and that's when the community probably started building. That second raid, like, because I'm pretty sure, like, a solid 95% of my Discord is from that goddamn raid. Like, that's where they've that's where they've come from. Yeah. And then, but then since then, I've had smaller content creators raid me as well. Like you, James, you raided me the other day.
Oh, nice.
Like you raided me. Pluto raided me. Oh, what's his name? Snake something. Oh crap, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, dude. But he he raided me as well, and just not like it's that feeling of not knowing you're actually going to get raided. Then you see the chat just like go from this quiet, peaceful chat, just go. I'm just like, what? Excuse me. It's so much fun.
I remember the first time you got raided by pizza. I literally like just sat down with food that I just made to watch your stream, and then I just see the chat go absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you think it's a troll at first. Like you think I honestly thought it was a troll. I thought someone was just putting it in there just to kind of like, you know, have a bit of fun.
Yeah, like I saw one person say pizza raid, and then like it was a little gap before the next message, and then just a whole flood of it.
Then just
for like a split second there, I thought it was a troll.
And I'm just like, wait, what? And then it wasn't actually until I saw Conan Pizza himself in the chat say pizza raid that I'm like,
I never saw pizza in the chat.
I saw him a couple
just
times.
missed him.
I knew it was him because of the avatar.
Yeah.
But then, like,
I definitely missed him.
what was it? It was and then like a couple of days later, I watched his stream, and he said something about how he doesn't normally raid the same person twice. No, and honestly, I was forever grateful for him for raiding me that first time. I was forever grateful. He could have picked anyone, and he scrolled through and he saw me. Like, I'm so forever grateful. Then I saw that, and so at that point, I'm not expecting a second raid. And then it wasn't until like, what was it? Maybe like a week later.
It was a week. Yeah.
It was at least a week
like
later.
a week.
Later, literally.
It was at least a week later. I then see it in the chat again, and I'm just like, am I dreaming here? Am I dreaming? Because but then I asked his community, like, I asked quite a few of them. I thought he doesn't raid the second person twice, and they turned around and said, no, he doesn't, but he saw you and he thought you were quite fun, so he just decided to raid you. I was like, okay, all right then.
That's so sweet.
I ain't gonna complain about that.
That's crazy.
But I'm gonna put this announcement out now, and this is not a guarantee. This is not a guarantee. This is a big if. But I'm planning on getting Codename Pizza on the stream sometime on the podcast. I have plans to DM him. Carl and Spike, we talked about it briefly, but I've not officially said. But I have plans to DM him, and I'm gonna be interested to see what he says. If we get him on, then he is gonna be officially the biggest name we will have on this podcast ever.
Can we get some pogs in the chat? Come on.
No, save the poggers for if it happens. But
Save your pogs.
there are a couple of other like big guests as well that I have planned on coming on. We've actually got one next week, which I'm really excited about. Can't wait for him to come on.
I haven't been told this yet.
You know who it
I
is?
want to know.
Well, I know who it is. I just don't know which who.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, see, we're very secretive. I don't tell these guys shit.
He's just like Jason, where he doesn't tell us shit, but gives us very vague hints.
He's been blinking it in Morse code over the last hour and a half.
Oh, honestly, dude, like
Oh,
the surprise I had for them, which was Zombies Jeopardy, right? I literally kept that a secret. Only me and Sam and Zoe knew about it. Us three knew about it. Carl and Spike knew nothing, and then I started putting out the little teasers in the on my Twitter, and just to see them respond saying, "I'm scared. I don't know what the fuck is this." Like they're losing their minds, and I just go, "No little teaser." And when I actually revealed what it like, the day before I announced what it was, someone actually got it. They worked it out, and he replied to the thing, said like, is this what I think it is? And I was just like, DM me if you know it. And he DM'd me and he got it spot on. He got it spot on. And then when I revealed what it was, that tweet just blew up. So many people were excited. I was excited. I honestly thought Spike was going to kick my ass. That turned out to be the other way around. And then
I was pretty close, wasn't I?
no, dude, I left with like 5,000 points.
Yeah.
Like I was up there. I was high, and that was only because I was the only one that got.
I was for a fact second place. Kyle had 700 points, and just
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for the questions you got, Kyle. I feel so sorry for you.
But that's what's weird. Alpha Omega. I thought, okay, this is a singular map. There's gonna be a ton of like lore in this. It's gonna just. I mean, I keep up with that stuff with the YouTubers and stuff, but I mean, I don't necessarily gonna remember it. I hadn't played BO4 much, so I'm just thinking like this is gonna be crappy. But I kept like neck and neck with you for a while. We just kept going up and back.
Yeah, we did.
I at least had a bit of a gap between me and Jack. I always tried to make sure I had a gap between me and Jack.
Dude, I did not know Alpha Omega, and that was my downfall. That was my biggest downfall.
I had the 3,000 IQ play. I'm not answering the final question, and then both of you guys get it wrong.
That final question can take a big fat dive off of a cliff. Who knows that? Unless you study Alpha Omega hard.
Wait, what was the question?
It was
name 10 different codes that aren't Easter egg related.
that you can put into Rushmore. That was the final Jeopardy question. I knew it was Alpha
I wouldn't
Omega.
know.
I knew Sam was going to slip that in, and then like it got to the end of it. I was like, okay, so he didn't put any codes in. And then finally
Yeah, I was
launches the
thinking the
final
same
Jeopardy.
thing.
I'm just like, you son of a bitch.
It's like I got the Rushmore voice actor. I'm like, I know who he is. He's from Breaking Bad. He's Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend that died's dad. But I'm like, I don't know his name.
Mhm.
I know who it is, man. I
Yeah.
just can't think of his name.
Like that was good fun. And actually, Sam has obviously us three. We're gonna have round 3. That's gonna be a guaranteed.
Yeah.
And we are gonna get Sam on the show as just a normal guest rather than a host.
I have
we're
a
gonna-
suggestion for the name of that episode for Sam.
Oh.
Go on.
Some Squad on Mars.
Some squad on Mars. You know what? I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It works. It works. But I'm actually also planning because he's shown me how he makes the final the Jeopardies. And I'm gonna make one myself, and I'm going to pick 3 people to play. And I know exactly who these 3 people are. I know exactly who I'm choosing. There's no question about it. I know exactly who I'm choosing. So all of you, be afraid, because you might get a DM from me saying, "You're on. Deal with it."
You have no choice in the matter.
No, yeah, you get no choice. You're on. That's it. But I'm excited to do that. Actually, I've got to work on the questions, but just be on the lookout for DMs because I know the 3 people for round 1, and I have an idea for round 2, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right, before we get into topic time, what's your beef with Gorod?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I haven't forgotten.
Thought we dodged
So it's both Gorod and Zets. I think it's because like when they came out, like it was like I would play by myself. I didn't have any friends in the community that wanted to play with me. It was literally like my friends that I had, they weren't interested in zombies. They weren't interested in Easter egg hunting or any of that. I was literally just by myself. And if I didn't like a map, I wouldn't go back and play it.
Mhm.
And Gorod and Zets, they are 2 of those maps. I didn't like them when I first played them, so I haven't really gone back and played them. And yeah.
But what was it about Gorod that you didn't like specifically?
Just the map.
Just everything and
Was it just-
everything. Just
Was it just the
everything.
first experience?
I think it's the first experience. The first experience just put me off the map completely. And
I think a good thing for you if you were to do you have BO3 on Xbox with all the DLCs?
I have Black Ops 3 on Xbox, but I only have Shadows.
I would
Yes,
say
I'm
all of us
PlayStation.
could. Yeah, I was gonna say like all of us could play BO3 on Xbox and just like we could just have that like experience of you playing it on with all of us. But I don't want to force you to buy anything.
Yeah,
I'll pay
I'm
for it.
already negative. Probably shouldn't buy anything else.
What? What? Say that again.
I probably shouldn't buy anything else because I'm already negative.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, you really shouldn't have said that to me.
Stop! Oh my god.
You really should have said that. Actually, James, have you had a map like that where you've had like a really bad first experience and you never wanted to go back to it ever?
Me?
Yeah.
Or just anyone
Yes.
else? I don't know. Because most maps I've gone back and played, I don't know. The map that I will always say that I don't like is Shinonuma. I really couldn't tell you why. I've played it like a couple of times and I look at it and it just does nothing for me. Like I have nothing that I want to do about it. Nothing looks fun about it to me. Like I don't know. And I know it's a pretty unpopular opinion, but for me it's just like I don't what's cool about it? Like it's not fun.
I literally am the same way. But then again, I didn't start
made
out
me
at World
laugh.
War BO1, so
Me
like,
too. So that's part of it for me. I started out like BO2, BO3. So World at War, like it doesn't hold that same
Yeah.
like nostalgic place for me.
doesn't me either. Yeah.
Jack, which game did you start off with zombies?
BL1.
Zoe, which game did you start out with?
Black
Yeah,
Ops
one.
1.
Yeah, that's
And Kyle?
Hey, Black Ops 1 gang!
a
Kyle?
BO3. Of course, BO3.
I'm the only one that started World at War?
I mean, I do have memories of playing World at War, but I wasn't into the game as much as I was when I was playing Black Ops 1. So I always say that Black Ops 1 was the map that was the game that really started off for me.
Yeah.
That's how
Okay,
BO1
yeah.
was for me too.
Fair point.
I played Kino like I think during the game's life cycle and didn't even realize it, but I just wasn't into those
Well, I
games.
started on BO1 because my brother actually introduced me to the game, and the first map I ever played was Ascension, and that was literally, and that was the year that the Black Ops 1 DLCs were coming out. So I was actually starting on Black Ops 1, and from there, I don't know, it just took off. Like I was really hyped for BO2 for Transit for some odd reason. I was really hyped for that.
I mean, the teasers for it looked pretty dope.
I think it was the trailer more than anything. I think it was also the fact that we're just getting zombies back. I was just really excited. And then
Okay, but Transit was fun to have shenanigans on.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Like whenever I think of Transit, I just think of nostalgic moments with my friends, like shenanigans, being
Yep.
left behind on the bus, down into the
Yeah.
denizens, all of that. Just I hate the map with a passion, but I just love the memories that I have with that map.
well, you're gonna get that next Monday.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking for
Next Monday is the Transit something
Revisited.
revisit. Transit revisit. So that's gonna be really interesting.
Can I join for that? Or is it just you two?
Maybe.
Oh.
Right, now topic time. This is actually something I like to so for those you don't know, if you join my Discord, you can actually, there's a segment called Topic Time, and you can put topics in there every Tuesday, and then we discuss them after we've gone through our main topics of the show, and it's always fun to see what people put. And so my right hand man, he put, what was the easiest Easter egg step that was made harder due to due to event conditions? Basically, did you fail any easy steps? Oh. Okay. So are there any... Wait, I don't get that.
So are there
what
any easy Easter egg steps that were made harder because of like zombies and stuff? that are coming at you?
Oh, okay. Thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying that. That's a good one.
Mine
can
would
go
have to
first
be
on
any
this.
Simon Says step.
Yeah. I was gonna say Moon. I feel like Moon, for some reason always die doing like the last step of the Easter egg where you have to put in all the Simon Says, or it just takes me forever. If I'm playing solo, like
Yeah.
2-player, just one person takes a zombie, that's whatever. But solo, training around constantly, half the time I go flying off the back of the map and into that just crevice off the back of
abyss.
Moon and die, or get hit by the zombie or get pinned on something. But I would say, yeah, any of the Simon Says honestly make it pretty difficult.
Mhm.
I think for me,
I need to think.
it's- You know what? I think I would honestly say the bomb step of Gorod.
Mm.
And that's only because whether I do that solo or co-op, you always have the fear of someone mucking up and then you all down. I think that's what kind of prevented me from doing Gorod so many times. It was that one step. And so, but then I did it solo the other day, and it's so fucking easy. Like, because you get such a long
so
time.
easy.
You get such a long
Solo,
time.
and you can pause and stuff. Like, it's the
Yeah.
easiest.
It makes the world of difference.
Like right the second you actually like beat that Easter egg solo, there's a whole lot of stress relieved of like, okay, I have more confidence in doing this Easter egg with more people now.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have that fear.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Yeah.
Carl, do you have one?
I was gonna say, I mean, like back in the day when I was like trying to actually like be good at like running through the Easter egg, and this is even with just megas and just like I would have maybe have said like Simon Says or something because you're having to like constantly train at the same time, I don't want to end the round, but you know, I'm trying to like survive or not accidentally get pinned. But now it's just BS. I die for the stupidest reasons. Like it's me that gets myself in a bad situation. You know how like Blundell said, like when we love to hear it when they say it's the player says it's their fault that they failed something, or you know, it's
Yeah,
not their fault.
I
You know,
remember that.
that's how I am. It's like it's always myself. I can always blame myself. Something stupid happens and I get down or something. It's like, so that's what
Okay.
I'd say now, generally. Not specific step.
Okay. Spike, did you have one?
The only one I can think of is the time when, and the only time I did the transit Easter egg, and the same two guys, they kept downing and bleeding out at the lamppost that they needed to throw their EMPs at. And then the next round, they get the EMPs really easily, but they keep dying. So we literally wasted like 20 minutes for them just to eventually survive to do the step, the final step too.
Oh man.
It pains me that I've still got to do those eggs.
Hey, Jack, I'm gonna be your force for that, so I need to know when we're gonna do that.
What we're gonna do? I'm gonna run away. Is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run away.
Transit is not that bad of an Easter egg, Jack. Just
The egg isn't bad, it's the map that's the problem.
that's very true.
Hey, don't go dissing my boy Ted. He's the best thing about that map.
Ted is the best thing about that map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. Let's be real.
Cool. You're the
Barry's gonna be the real bitch, though. That's gonna be the real kicker in the balls.
I'm not looking forward to these. I'm not looking forward to this.
Spike.
Someone take my spot, please.
No, we're doing this for you, buddy.
Spike's like, damn Barry. Damn Barry.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, made me
worst
laugh.
map of all
I
time.
messaged her and I was like, "Hey, would you be down to do this?" And she's like, lol, no."
Absolutely
Buried,
not.
I love Buried. I don't know if I'm
Oh yeah.
the minority there, but like Buried, once again for me, I'm someone who's so rooted in like my experiences with it, not even like the actual gameplay,
Yeah.
but Buried, like that was the map for me. That was, I would say, my equivalent of like Nocturne on Toten for a lot of people. Where you hear
Okay.
him talk about like that's a map you just sit in a corner, camp, and just like get for the highest round, and then the next time you try to get higher than that round, you try to get higher than that round. Like that was me and my brothers. Like we would camp in a corner, have our AN-94s in the chalk up in the courthouse. You camp that corner, and we just go to like 30, and like 30 was crazy, and then you go for round 35. Like that was the map for me. That was just like that original Zombies experience. So I love that. Once again, one of the maps that I haven't done the egg on still. So
It's
I've
a
never known a
bitch
map.
to do.
I've never known a map to be so. If you're just playing it casually, I've never known a map to be so easy in all of Zombies. Like
It's so mind-numbingly boring. To
honestly,
me.
Zoe knows exactly what I'm talking about because on the grief game, I DM'd her and I said, "Hey, do you want to quarter us around 20? Because this is too fucking easy."
We
Yeah.
all just like sat there and it's like, oh, this is easy.
And you had like 4 people just spinning around with the trample steam. Just on the
There's
spot.
like 5 of them right in front of
Yeah,
me just
lit-
spinning around and I'm like, what is this?
So while we're on this combo, what do we all think of Die Rise?
I would love to jump off a building on Die Rise.
Well, you could do that,
Yeah.
right? There you go.
I want them to bring back Huso.
Oh.
I need Chugabud.
I need a chugabud in my life.
Yeah, they brought PhD back, so
Yeah, they did.
to be fair.
Okay. All right, 2 more. Right hand man again. If you were to do a similar event of your own, what challenges would you remove, change, or add? That's actually a really good question.
that's a great question.
Honestly, I think the challenges were nicely balanced in a way. Only thing I would change is maybe a couple of the eggs. I think I would like to include more eggs than challenges. Because I think they just made life for like really good entertainment watching people speedrun them and everything. So I would say Oh, you know what? Just to piss people off, I'd add Blood of the Dead.
Oh,
Do
That
that.
would have pissed me
Get them
off.
to do that egg.
that'd been pretty good.
Do you know how many people would be like, nah?
Yeah,
I
Nah.
would.
I'd say,
If I was a part of that event, everybody else would literally quit it, and I'd be the only one playing it.
yeah, right, exactly.
I think if there's one egg I would actually like to add, I think it'd be Voyage. Only because the boss fight is so cool, and I'd love to see
Yeah.
how I'd see people race to the clock on that boss fight. So
I really wanted Ancient Evil in there.
I'm surprised it wasn't in there. I'm really
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted that. Like, I was shocked when I went through all the challenges and I didn't see Ancient Evil in there because I was like, from what I hear, that is a well-loved map on Black Ops 4,
It is.
Yeah, it is.
and I was surprised to not see that one in there.
I was surprised as well.
I'm indifferent.
Why did they add Dead of the Night? Why?
I mean, at least it wasn't Dead of the Night Easter egg.
Honestly,
yeah, that's true.
I know, I thought it was at first.
you're Gorod, you're Shino Numa, I'm Dead of the Night.
I am also Dead of the Night.
That map,
Oh.
no. Just no.
I think
I'd
I
like to
played that the
s-
week
I'd-
it came out, and then I literally don't think until Z4C I played it again.
I don't
It's
blame
like a
you.
solid gap of 2 years, probably. That I just
I don't blame you at
Nope.
all.
never thought about it.
No, it would
Dead
have
of the
been
night at 3 a.m. though.
When did it release? Was it Christmas
God.
2019? 2018 even.
What was what?
When did Dead of the Night release?
No.
Was it December 2018?
Mm,
It had to be
I
around then because what game dropped in October.
No,
Yeah.
it was last
Give it-
January, right?
Was it January? I thought it was
No.
December.
Because the day
Hold on.
before
Let's
Dude.
Google this.
Zombroz, which was in February.
I think
It
it was
definitely
December.
came out 2018 because
Yeah.
I infamously said like, oh, 2019, like I'm gonna grind a lot on YouTube, and then I think I posted in all of 2019 like 3 videos.
Wouldn't it have been like
So
February?
I think it was before 2019. I'm pretty sure because I was still like uploading consistently at that point. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up if someone isn't already.
Oh, December 11th, 2018.
I think it
I
was
knew it.
2018. There we go.
Oh, it's December.
I
Wow.
knew it.
Wow.
Hmm.
To be honest, I probably don't remember when that came out purely because there was no like
Marketing?
hype around the launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There was
there
no.
wasn't.
That's the thing. There was no
That's
marketing
one of my
for it.
biggest
Who's
complaints
behind
about BO4 was like just the sheer lack of marketing.
Oh,
Like,
I'll be-
One of my
I'm
favorite
done
things
to-
about
sorry,
BO3
I'm
was like you'd get an image on Twitter, then you'd get like a 10-second teaser, and then you get the trailer,
Hell
and then
yeah.
you'd get the people who played it early, and then you'd get the map, and then it was like, oh yeah, Dead of the Night came out yesterday. I was like,
Wait, did it?
okay.
okay.
BO4 literally got the IW experience where there was hardly any marketing. Budget did not exist. It was really money
Throwback
out
to
of their
Attack of the
pockets.
Radioactive Thing when the
Mhm.
trailer came out after the
After the
map.
map
Dude, I
released.
didn't even know that map
Yeah.
existed like a month after it released.
That's really weird.
But what about the rest of you? What would you remove, change, or add if you were to do your own like charity event?
I think for
I-
me, a cool idea would be to do the like Black Ops 2 Super Easter egg, like either Richtofen side or Max's side, but don't clock the individual maps. Clock the entire like start to finish time.
Oh, that's quite
I think that would be a really interesting twist on it, where it's not like
Yeah.
map by map by map, but like who like maybe get more points. You do like that's one whole challenge, and then you do like 3 separate challenges on BO3, BO4, but that whole thing as one, I think would be cool. And take out Tag Realistic because that challenge sucked, and I will stand by it.
I really didn't mind Tag Realistic.
The
It
only thing,
wasn't
like, the
that
moment I
bad.
knew that challenge was going to be terrible was we were playing a practice game, and it's like round 7 or 8. We're like, okay, like we got this strat kind of figured out, and then one person shot a fire zombie, and all of us died. I was like, no, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be terrible. Worst
Oh.
challenge. Worst challenge.
Ugh.
Love that.
Love that.
Yeah, hate to see it. But honestly, other than that, like I think they did a good job. I think it's cool how they balanced the Easter eggs and the challenges because I
Yeah.
think like there's certain players that are really good at Easter eggs, and then there's certain players that are just like really good zombies players in general.
I agree.
And I think it kind of highlights like the strengths, weaknesses, and kind of balances out really well.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
think I would do an Easter egg event where it's all of BO3, excluding Zombie Chronicles, and then Blood of the Dead, Skip Classified, Alpha Omega, and TOG.
The entire event's just one classified speedrun.
Yeah.
Just first person
First
to
one
get
to
to
hit the
150.
cutscene wins.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I really have.
Who blue screens last?
Yeah, really. Ugh.
Okay, while
Yeah,
while Carl's racking his brain, sorry, what about
Yeah.
you?
To be honest, I just think it was good how it was. Like, I don't think I would change anything. Like, maybe like 2 more challenges for those people that like they don't remember the Easter eggs, or they did bad in the Easter eggs. Like, give them a chance to like catch up in points with the challenges, because like you don't really need practice for those. Let's be real.
Ah, that's
I
fair.
feel like, yeah, you can get strats and stuff for them, but we didn't practice. We did okay. I think we got to like 17 on Dead of the Night, and that was on like the second attempt. So
You wouldn't really change.
I wouldn't really change anything. Maybe put
Okay.
a couple more challenges in there that weren't Easter egg speedruns, but that's it.
Okay, that's cool. Carl, what about you?
Yeah, kind of like similar. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could have added like a gauntlet or something. I don't know.
I
You know,
completely forgot about
I forgot
gauntlets.
they
Oh,
exist.
yeah.
I mean, you could have done Gauntlet or Rush, or you could have even done like maybe just a simple. I know like 2 blocks is pretty simple, but I mean just the complete randomness of like, oh shit, I got the shitty weapons and you got the overpowered stuff. You know, I don't know, something that would keep it kind of interesting.
I
A
completely
gauntlet
forgot
would
that
have been
gauntlets
fun,
exist.
actually.
I think that would have worked pretty well. Gauntlet.
Oh, so maybe you could have like, oh my god, I've just had a thought. What if you had what if you really mixed it up and had 1 game of Grief, 1 game of Bus Depot Survival, 1 Gauntlet, 1 game of Rush, an Easter egg, and then a couple of challenges. Because then you are branching out across all of the
You're
games.
hitting like everything at that point.
Yeah.
Like- I think that'd be pretty cool. Zazu, if you want,
Yeah.
if you want that, I'm claiming the content. Oh, we lost.
Spike. We
Thanks for
lost
mucking up the
Spike!
boxes,
No!
dude.
The ether got him.
no.
His Discord always mucks up. We actually had 1 more. And it was from Top, who goes by Discord as Master of the Macabre. The best engine.
Wait, Jack, sorry,
Go
on
on.
stream,
Uh-oh. The
Did I mess
box-
up?
I am the host.
Hey, I was Jack.
I am the host.
I got to do that.
What-
Now
what-
Zoe's Jack.
Kyle was Zoe. James hasn't changed.
Yes,
I'm-
let's go.
I'm not existent.
It's like, hey.
I'm just chilling slightly off center in my box. I'm just vibing, man.
I gotta see it.
I'm not. Wow, this is my podcast, and I'm not even in it. Wow.
Hi guys, welcome back to this week's podcast. My name is ZMadLobster. This is ZombSquad round 22.
Ooh,
6K
Had your
raid
entire
for
show
charity.
just yoinked from you.
that's actually pretty good.
We're actually hiring. If you want application, I'll send it through.
Yeah,
I
that
can
would-
just be the host.
it'd be a 4th. No. Oh,
Discord
okay.
I
crash.
find it
There is.
interesting though that before ZombSquad you had never been on any podcast, and now you've been on it twice.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
go.
the last time I was here though, I had different color hair and that's it.
Honestly, with the lighting effect in the background, it looks no different.
My hair was red last time.
I think I might. What?
My hair was red and black last time.
Well, you're not brunette.
This is blonde.
That is not blonde.
That is? Oh, wait.
There's
That's
there's
blonde.
shades of blonde, but there's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, now I see it.
I know.
It must be
It is like a
colorblind.
dark blonde, to be fair.
Very
Yeah.
dark blonde. Okay, so yeah, the best engine a BO was a Black Ops game was run on. Honestly, I'd say BO3.
I would agree.
I think
Yeah.
BO2 would come in a close second. And because like minus the 2 hit down system, it actually feels quite nice to play on the BO2 engine. Black Ops 1 feels really weird going back to it. World of War is so buggy and glitchy.
Yeah.
Oh, World of War. Like,
That's a big oof.
you're just
Like instead of knifing, you just dive into a bunch of zombies. Just like, all right, here we go.
Yep.
Just game right then and there.
There is nothing like there's nothing like dolphin diving off of like
Into
off of the
somebody's
top.
butt.
The awkward silence.
All right.
Dolphin diving into somebody's butt and then you both down in.
That's all you were
On
trying to
Black
do to
Ops
me on
1.
5. I was scared.
I know.
I was scared. And that's all you were trying to do as Zombie Gaming HD on Mob of the Dead. Like you have a really weird obsession.
Listen, I just think it's fun to down each other.
I'll tell you what was fun. Us both dolphin diving into the teleporter. That was hilarious.
I didn't dolphin dive. I literally just ran into it.
So how did
And
we
you dolphin
down
dived and
then?
downed us
How
both.
did we die?
Dang.
Like I thought you were dolphin dived as well, and that's when it went bop
No,
and just killed us.
I ran in there normally, and then you dolphin dived into me, and like obviously I took damage, and then like I was still running. I was like, ow, and then I just ran, and then it said game over, and I was like, wait, what?
Like
Oh,
literally, James. She was activating the pack-a-punch, getting the last switch. This is on 5. She was getting the last switch. She ran into the teleporter. I was about that far. Like she went in, and it was like a couple seconds later. I dolphin dived in. I hear the red screen marker pops up, and I just see game over. And I'm like, yeah, that's 5 for you. That's
I had a
classic
moment like
5.
that on BO3. I was playing BO3 Moon. I think I still have this clip to my channel somewhere I could go find. But like, my brother and I were playing Moon. We had just finished the Easter egg. We threw down the Gersh device to like pick up the ball that activates the rockets, and then just game over.
Wow.
Just I don't know how, don't know why, just game. Right then it like couldn't tell you why.
Like, honestly,
I
this
was
shouldn't.
wondering when you were gonna drag me back in here.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Anyway,
think back to normal on
what?
the stream now.
Spike, I'll ask you. Master of the Macabre was asking what engine, what was the best engine a Black Ops game ran on?
Well, I've kind of answered this sort of question before, where I would like to see if they can mix the BO3 and BO4 engine into one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I really like the feeling of BO4, like the movement. I prefer the movement in BO4, but I like the look of everything of BO3.
Okay. Yeah, do a combination of both. I like that. That'd actually be interesting. Like, because you've always said that you like seeing your health.
Yeah, I always like being
actually
able
like
to
that
see
as
my
well.
health.
That's quite that. I have to admit that is better. Rather than just getting here a bunch of times. Next thing you know, you're red screened and you're literally panicking. You're just like and then
Yeah.
you run away.
It might just be the fact that I haven't played a ton of BO4, but I actually prefer the BO3. I feel like BO4, I don't know when I'm gonna go down. Only because I haven't played enough of it to like watch the number constantly. Be like, oh, do the math that if I'm under 50 health, like, gotta be careful kind of thing. But for me, I found myself a lot going down and like not even realizing I was close to going down.
Honestly, I spend probably the same amount of time looking at the health on BO4 than I do looking at the speedometer in my car when I'm driving. I'm constantly, I'm with my controller. I'm playing, and you just see me go.
Dang.
Wait,
I
you
always,
use your
like,
whole face to look?
I always glance at it.
I need glasses. My eyesight's absolutely terrible. Sometimes it goes so
fair
blurred,
enough.
I have to literally
Yeah.
go. Oh, okay. Wait, 50 health.
That's my favorite on Rev with the step where you have to like shoot the bones and stuff. The one that's in Spawn, that's like kind of in the church. I'm always like, all right, yeah, I think that's it. I'm
I
not
think I
sure
see it.
though. think I shot it. I can't really tell because like right there's all the electric things too.
Yeah.
So there's like red, there's like blue flashing. It's like if I don't have a seizure, maybe I'll get the bone. I don't know. Like I couldn't tell you.
There's also like a bunch of debris in the way of like a bunch of rocks, like just a bunch
Yeah,
of
there's all the
floating rocks in
Yeah.
the church.
Yeah.
It's like here, shoot this one stone against a stone wall, but you have to know to shoot that one stone.
Yeah.
It's like I
Couldn't tell
think
you.
that's the model for the bone.
I'm like that with the Origins bit. Like
What part?
the bone you get from Origins. Sometimes I actually find it really hard to
that
see
one
that.
I always shoot the
That one,
like the
that one seems so
apocalypse
forgettable.
run away.
Yeah, but I'm blind. I can't see shit.
I remember.
Well, the thing for me is though, Jack, I always forget about that one. That one is like the one I always forget about.
The bone.
When does that come
The
up?
bone in Origins.
See, I wish I could. Like, I know Revelations too well to forget stuff. Like, honestly, you put me on a BO3 map, I will play through those so smoothly. You put me on BO4, I will not be able to do anything. Like, that's how much I've played those eggs, especially the Eisendrach. The amount of times I've done that egg. Like, I know that off by heart. I know Revelations off by heart. I know Shadows of Evil off by heart.
Shadows is such a good map.
Yeah.
I love Shadows.
Shadows is
I
like
think-
I would still say one of the more underrated maps in all of Zombies.
Yeah.
And Zetsubo. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Yes.
Zetsubo no Shima.
Zetsubo
One
is
of the more
underrated.
underrated maps.
I like
Like
it
the
absolutely
glow up
is.
that map had from launch till now, like I think that's the biggest like I've ever had my like opinion towards a map change in all of Zombies.
It's aged well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
aged well. Shadows has.
If you can learn Zet solo like I did, just like this, I think it was this year, it just changed it all completely. Because I didn't have, I'm
Yeah.
different on Zet and Garad. Like I'm still got to learn Garad right now. That's why I'm like, I don't not like it, but I'm just indifferent because I don't know how to play it. And I love to do Easter eggs. So. But Zet's great. Yeah. It's a lot to do. It's pretty fun.
Honestly. See, the thing is, right, when I look at underrated maps, I say this one map and people are like, is it, right? But honestly, I would put Targ as an underrated map.
Oh.
Only
I
because,
think
Go
I
on.
would too. I'd put it as
You-
an underrated map.
I think that's because
Yeah.
people only look at it as purely as like the end of Ether,
Yeah.
and all they focus on is the cutscene. You play that
I
map
think-
just for gameplay, it's beautiful. It
I
plays
think
so well.
people
It's a gorgeous
also
map.
see it and think of the fact that it's on Black Ops 4, and they're like,
Yeah.
not a fan.
I'd
Imagine
say
that in
people
BO3.
need to drop the whole thing of like, oh, BO4 bad. I want people to have the mindset of like, this is it. This is what this is, just for like what it is. Like just to play it for what it is,
Yeah.
and judge it by that, and not by what game it's on, or the engine that it's on.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
No,
how
I
I treat
definitely
it
agree.
from the game cycle, but.
Honestly, yeah, Targ. I thing is though, Shadows is another one because I don't really consider it underrated only because it has aged so damn well. Like people,
Yeah.
when Shadows first launched, people were like, "Oh no, I'd rather play the Giant," right? But now I go to these people and I say, "Well, what do you think of Shadows of Evil?" They're just like, "Oh, it's a really good map." You know, I've always loved it since day one, and it's been my favorite ever
have I.
since.
Same.
So
I loved it.
And obviously, I think it's going to take a big map to top it for me. But I'm not one of those people that like kind of put it to the side just because the Giant was like the Darius remake was the bonus. People would rather play that and be familiar rather than try something new.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
always been the biggest gripe with the community.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's just my opinion. I say Targ, Targ and Zet, and honestly, I think maybe Revelations as well. I think they're all underrated.
I like
I'd
that.
say Tog. I'd say Tog is underrated, and I want to say that Blood doesn't get enough credit that it gets.
Okay, so the thing with Blood is a good map. Like it looks beautiful. Like I like all the extras they added onto it. I just don't think the Easter egg is the greatest. But if we're just talking purely on the map, not the Easter egg, I do think it is a good map. Although the one thing, I don't think dogs were supposed to be added into the map.
No.
Dogs don't belong on it. The fact that they always get stuck on the stairs as well, and it's like, you just weren't made for this map, bud.
They're
Just
so
back off.
dumb. They're so dumb. They're like pigeons. They don't know where the fuck they're going. They go backwards,
I
forwards,
feel like
backwards,
I'm
forwards,
the-
backwards, forwards.
I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't have a problem with the dogs.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that they added them because it felt right. Like it's like Hounds of Hell.
Yeah, like to me, it felt right for like the whole like atmosphere of the map. Like you're in hell,
Right.
and then obviously the name Hellhounds. It just two and two together. That's simple math.
I just think with Blood, they just like say the Redeemer, for instance. I just think it's so tedious to get on Blood. I've got the Redeemer once in the entire span of the map's been out. I've had the Redeemer once.
And the
that's
shiv is a little tedious too.
And that's because I don't want to be looking through my little peephole, looking for a blue head, to then throw it, to then it be a dog round, and then I'm looking through my peephole again, trying to find a ghost dog.
I do think that map relied heavily on the shield, like a little too heavily.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean,
go on.
no, yeah. I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I didn't even play Mob during the day it was out, but Mob just did it so good. I don't know. It's just.
I think you might have given Zoe a heart attack then.
Yeah, Mob and Shadows. I love those two.
Oh, at least you love it now.
Yep.
Honestly,
For me,
to this day, I'm surprised I even predicted Mob. Well, not Mob, but like a prison map.
Mm.
And that was because at the time, The Walking Dead Season 3 was out, and it was a prison. I was just like, oh, you know what? I think they're going to do a prison map. Well, then what launched the next DLC? Fucking Mob of the Dead. I'm just like, yo, that's poggers.
And then the voice actors they had
jam.
as well, just everything about that map is just like multiple chef's kisses.
They just crafted it so well.
That map is just... It's beautiful. It's like, it was my number one for a long time. Then Shadows took the reins. It's now number 2. Actually, before we quickly wrap up, James, I want to know your top 5 maps.
Okay. I got to think about this for a second, but I think it's going to go Origins, Horizon, Shadows, Mob, and then my 5 spot. Like my 5 spot, there's a lot of maps it could be. So I just, to throw one in there sheerly off of like the experience I've had, I'll put Buried as 5. And like that is very negotiable, but I think the top 4 for me are pretty solid.
That's a very those 4 maps are definitely always up there for people, more than others. And so I find it like, what would you do if I told you guys that Horizon Drac is actually my number 5? It used to be this is before Shadows came. No, sorry, this was when I had my original list. It used to be number 3. It's now been bumped down to number 5. And that's because obviously my top 2, Shadows and Mob. 3 actually comes in a Tug the Totem. I actually really love the map. I really love the map. And then 4, I've always loved Verrucht. Verrucht has always been...
It's a good map.
It's always been one of those
really
maps that I've... Like, no matter what you do on it, you have a really good time. I never get bored of Verrucht. And so that's why that's why it actually takes the place over the Horizon Drac for me. Because it's honestly a map that I just hold so dear to my heart. Like, but I just know people are going to be roasting me like, why's the Horizon Drac number 5? I just told you. Honestly, it's a great map. It's a good map.
I've noticed for myself too, like the community has a lot of influence on me too. Like I associate with it definitely stuff like beyond the map itself.
Mm-hmm.
So like for Origins, that's just because that's a map I love to play. But like Horizon Drac, I also love because like that for me was when I really, really, really got into the community. That was when I was like watching a ton of videos, really diving into the lore, and like I would say like around the time Horizon came out, that's when I like it's like, oh, what's going on Horizon? And then I started working backwards from there and kind of filling in like this whole storyline that's been going on for years and years and years that I just hadn't experienced up to that point.
Yeah.
And quickly to throw it in, even like a debate with my fifth spot is Shangri-La. It's a map that I, honest to God, like don't like playing it that much, but the story, and I've talked about this a lot on stream too. The story for me like got me into zombies a lot in a way. Like Shang was really the first map where I was like, oh my God, there's this whole like story to like the Brock and Gary whole thing with the Easter egg. I absolutely loved that. And I know once again it's pretty unpopular, but
Okay.
and it's weird that it's a map that I don't like to play. Like I'm not like, oh, Shangri-La, so I can go die on round 15 and be pissed off for the rest of the day. Like no. It's just I like the story.
Yeah,
I
I
like
know that feeling.
it was definitely the first map where it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much more to zombies.
Shangri-La is also a really gorgeous map.
That too.
Shang
Oh, the
looks
remaster.
incredible.
Oh,
Yes.
I have
the
said this
remaster.
since it came out on Chronicles. Shang looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
it. That's why I
I
play
think
it.
I think Shang might have gone like probably one of the best like glow ups from that remaster.
That and Moon,
Yeah.
I would argue. Like the
Honestly,
best.
I'd say
yeah.
Moon was the
Yeah.
best remaster
Moon
of
got
that
the
pack.
best glow up. Moon got the
Yeah.
best glow up.
Moon was a complete transformation. You look at the original
Yeah.
to the remaster.
Moon was just gray and be like it just gray.
Yeah,
All
you,
it
I think
is.
you
I
just
think
felt like you were
Zelensky's
playing on a
favorite color was
grey
gray.
landscape. Like, and then when Chronicles released, you actually feel like you're playing on the moon. The landscape looked
I was gonna
absolutely
say,
gorgeous.
Yeah. I feel like you're there.
Yeah, you do. You really feel like
And
you're there.
all the lights, heads.
Like they honestly, they did a fab
Just
job.
get your astronaut helmet, put
Right.
that on, It's like, all right, now I'm in the game.
Did any of you watch my attempt at round 50 on Moon?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
I don't.
Okay, so you guys are gonna think I'm the dumbest person on earth.
Oh dear.
So
Oh,
yes, but Spike, you're gonna judge me hard.
Yeah.
So I was playing the map. I was just like, I was playing through, staying in the starting room quite a bit. And then I went to the labs and got the hacker. I was trying to do a no power challenge. I'm wondering why I'm dying. It takes for someone in my chat to tell me, yeah, turning on power activates the gravity in the air. I'm like, oh. Is that a thing?
Oxygen. What's that?
What's that?
Never heard of it.
I was wondering,
Never
like,
heard of it.
oh, why do you actually
Who's
need power?
oxygen?
Why do you need
and
power?
why does she care?
And then I'm just trying to go back to spawn. I'm constantly dying, running out of air. I'm just like, why isn't this working? Someone's actually like, yeah, you need to turn power on to activate the air. Oh, well, that's just great. Thank you for pointing that out. That was one of the dumbest things. Like, that was probably on the same level as bad. When I didn't realize that you could find out where the tram goes in Shadows of Evil by looking at a map. I thought you had to go and find it yourself, but no, there's a little, there's a little map on there.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Jack,
pretty.
how that-
That's pretty.
Jack,
Oh, great.
Jack, how long did that take you to figure that out?
How long did it take me to figure out the bottom left is your revives in BO4?
Yeah, that was the other
Oh
thing.
man, that was tough.
I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Do I deserve to be called a Zombies player after these three things? I think the Shadows one probably hit harder because I've loved the map for ages. Always thought you have to go and find the tram yourself. Until I see someone else look at the thing. I'm like, wait, what the hell was that? Wait, that actually tells you where the tram is. I go and do it myself and I'm like, for fuck's sake, dude.
I had the similar thing though with my friend Ben when we first played Shadows. After a while, after so many times playing it, and then I'm looking at the bottles. I'm like, what are those? Like they're like glowing. They're stuff. I'm like, he's like,
That's
oh,
a yikes.
yeah. It's like that's where the shows the perks are at. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
okay. Well,
The
oops.
things you
That's a
discover
classic.
even to this day on Zombies is
Yikes in the chat.
it's a big yikes, but it's also remarkable in a really weird way. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, guys, we are going to wrap it up here for this episode of the podcast. Really hope you all enjoyed. I didn't have chat open, unfortunately. So for everyone who stopped by, even if it was for a moment, or for everyone who stayed for the entire thing, You're all amazing, and I absolutely love your faces. I want to say a big thank you to our guests, James and Zoe, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure having you both on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
I was really looking forward to this, and it turned out exactly like I wanted. Just great conversations. And obviously, I can't do the show without Cole and Spike. They keep me in line, those two. Don't tell anyone. But guys, we are going to wrap it up here. So we will see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. British Standard Time. We're going to go back to the 6 p.m. because I'm not at work next week. So we're going to go back to 6 p.m. And next week we have a very, very, very special guest on. He's someone who has been on the podcast before, but he's grown quite a lot in terms of subscribers. And throughout the week, I'm going to be putting out little teasers to see if you can guess who it is. So be sure to tune in next Tuesday. But for now, guys, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.